UFC.com, fucking bum fights, anywhere I could get more fights, anywhere I could see local promotions. I used to watch all that shit anywhere I could on the internet. Like, I'll be honest, when they were like, Jorge was the guy from the Kimbo Slice videos, I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in that meme. Like, I didn't remember that was Jorge, but when they said that, I was like, oh my God, that's fucking Ponytail. That's him, right? Like, I remembered it. So I'm not mad about the saturation. I want more. I'm upset that there's not a card every single fucking week. It's 52 weeks in a year, man. That's 52 cards a year. Fuck it. I Give me special cards. I want a card on fucking Thanksgiving. I want a New Year's Eve card. I want a Christmas Day card. I want fucking cards. And there's just not that many top level fighters in the world in mixed martial arts. And if you did bring all those people together, you would shut down every kickboxing promotion, every wrestling promotion, every other MMA promotion. You would shut it all down. So it just is what it is. We're going to get some B product. We're going to get some C product. And that's that. Usman.
So what I was saying about like building up prospects and building up names on those weeks where we get no UFC or no or we get those 2 weeks back to back with no fights, how kick ass would it be? Like if people are gonna complain about the low level fights on a pay per view prelim card or a big fight night prelim card, like what if you take some real shitbirds in the UFC and give me a Saturday morning 5 fight card, like a Dana White Contender Series thing, but for people that are already signed to UFC,
Bro, do
and
you
it's
remember
like
Sun-
stay alive. You know what I mean? Keep your contract.
do you remember Sunday morning cards?
The only Sunday cards I remember was working overnight in those fucking Thailand cards. Uh,
Fox. There were
yeah,
4 a
yeah,
year on Fox.
yeah. I remember. What's his name? Leon Edwards versus Dom Cerrone was over there in like Thailand at Sunday at like 5 in the morning or some shit.
Yeah, those were my favorite cards ever. Give me a couple of those. Like, I want it. I want to have it to watch and consume. I want to be tied to it like women used to be tied to soap operas, not to sound sexist. I want to be tied to it. I like the tether as a fan. Chris Cyborg announced that she is the final fights with an S of my career start October 19th. And then the graphic said her retirement tour or her legacy tour. Um, then she posted another thing where it says, um, added 2 new cows to the farm. Everybody meet Rhonda and Kayla. I chuckled about that one pretty good. And then she also posted, I got it up here actually on a screen. 5 world championships and 20 years of dominance would be insane, implying if she could beat Larissa Pachenko. Um, I mean, it was bound to happen. I think the women have had stronger runs than the men into their late 30s and 40s. And I think they will retire better than the men. Uh, Cyborg may lose this fight, but I I view her in much better standings than I do Stipe to win his next fight, for example. Uh, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm just curious to see how many more fights she does with the plural on there. It doesn't really close it out. I think she really wants out of her PFL contract. I think she wants to really try to get an Amanda fight or a Kayla fight with the UFC. I don't know that it happens. But Usman, you follow her a lot on social media, just like I do. Do you doubt that she wants another UFC fight? Because I feel like that's a given, right?
So I think it's the grass ain't always greener on the other side kind of thing. I think when she left the UFC, she probably thought, I'm never coming back to this shithole the way they treated me. Fuck them, I'll never fight for the UFC again. And then she got treated well by Bellator, and got the shit end of the stick with this PFL merger, and she's been treated pretty poorly here at PFL. So at this point, I think like I mean, dude, even whenever we've tweeted her about tweeted at her about Amanda Nunes being the GOAT, like she is still very much salty about it. I think she 100% wants back in the UFC and wants to try and claim that GOATdom.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh man, my buddy's down there listening. Man, you left your bag of weed over here, bro. I don't know what you're smoking, but you left your fucking bag of weed over here. I folded it up, and I'm smoking my weed, looking at it. But I just wanted you to know you left your shit over here. Yeah, I don't know. I think she wants to get back in there. I think it would mean a lot to her, but I think age is catching up with her, and she knows it. And again, I think women will retire better than men did, or men do, like just by rule of thumb, so to speak. Men tend to go out on a loss. We've seen the stats. It's like 90%, 90 point something percent of UFC fighters go out on a loss, which it's men heavy. So there you go. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna move past it. Francis Ngannou is returning. So Francis Ngannou been out of MMA for 2.5 years. He got fucking knocked out in boxing. Suffered great personal loss with his son. He'll be 38 years old when he fights Renan Fierro. He's taking trips with Brett Okamoto to his childhood home, reminiscing about where it all started. And he's supposed to fight in like 10 weeks. I'll also note that the PFL is marketing the Lineal Championship in the undernotes of the promo. You hear them say lineal title, lineal title. Um, so they're what they're saying is we have the UFC heavyweight championship. Like that's a note to. We have the title. We have the UFC's belt here. My question is, I'm in a room full of bettors. Is anybody betting Francis Ngannou to win that fight?
What's the odds?
You know what? I don't know what the odds are. I hadn't. I can see if they're up here though, because I got the board up right in front of me, and I know the date.
If you check
So
capmma.com, I think.
I'm on
Oh,
capmma.com.
okay.
Francis is minus 345.
Oh, boy.
I'm definitely not taking Francis at minus 345. No fucking way. Usman, what are you betting?
I'm betting the big Brazilian by knockout, man. You know me. Um, Especially at that odds. It's kind of ridiculous, you know. I mean, bro, Francis is he's a little damaged right now, and honestly, we all talked a lot of shit about how Francis Ngannou was fucking over PFL by not fighting for them, but thinking about it right now, he probably they made the deal supposedly that every one of his opponents was going to get 1 million to $2 million to fight him. He's probably going to be getting somewhere around 5 million to 10 million to fight for PFL. You would think,
10.
and
It'll be about 10. It'll be about 10. Just
yeah,
based on math that everybody figured back when he signed and what he turned down and shit. He's going to get about 10 million bucks.
so it was honestly probably pretty good for them to put him on the back burner, let him do this boxing stuff, and hopefully he is wasted goods so that they can have Henan knock him out, and then they can advertise that they have the lineal champion, like, and that it's not a ex UFC fighter, it is a homegrown PFL fighter. Um, Wasted a lot of imaginary money, but I think this ended up working out in the long run for them if Henan can pull it off.
I will say this. I 100% guarantee you If Kenan wins that title, the UFC will sign him out when he ends his contract, if he still has it. They will pay to bring that belt back. It'll never be said that way, but they will pay to bring that belt back. Man, Francis just got too much luggage for me, and I'm curious to see if Mike's going to talk about his knees. Mike, are you betting Francis Ngannou?
Against Pereira, right?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I would.
Okay, you're going to take him at 350 money minus 350 money line, or you're going to find a prop?
I'm gonna find a prop. I don't look. Ferreira's he's not really consistent when it comes to his skill set. Like he can be a real problem for Ngannou, but I think Ngannou's knockout power is going to be too much for him.
That's fair. PFL's fucked either way. I'll bet anybody in here this is Francis Ngannou's last MMA fight, win or lose. If he loses, we have a better chance of seeing him than if he wins. He's cooked. He's done. He said he was thinking about retirement already. Man's discovering his childhood, and it's like a hut. You know, it's not quite a house. It's beat up. I mean, he came great for him, and he's got tens of millions of dollars now. He doesn't need it like that no more, man. And yeah, I just can't. I don't know. I think Silk Sheets is definitely gonna be what gets Francis Ngannou. Let's move on down the card here, or down the book here. Usman, you got any fight announcements tonight?
So we have a very short list of only 6 fights. We can run through them right now.
Yeah, at least throw 3 or 4 of them out there.
Okay, so October 12th, we've got CJ Vergara versus a name that is going to be hard to pronounce and we've probably never heard of, Ramazan Bek Tamarov. Considering how long the name is, you think it'd have a little bit more syllables. Ramazan Bek Tamarov. Yeah, hey, give me CJ Vergara there because I don't know this other guy, and CJ Vergara has a stupid knack for pulling spoiler on a big ass fucking favorite.
Yeah, I can't. I don't fuck with CJ Vergara fights. I've learned my lesson on both sides of it. Man, you can tape CJ Vergara to the fucking moon, and he'll go in there and do something that has nothing to do with anything you watch, uh, except for in one fight, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I seen him do this one time." You know, why would I think he would do this? Yeah, fuck CJ Vergara. That's how I feel about that. What else you got?
One more for you before I send it back. The day after my birthday, October 19th, you know I'm going to be watching fights. Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed. Yeah.
Mike, who you taking, Panay or Reed?
I'm taking the over.
Yes, sir. Fucking cash it. That is the already free bet. Usman, what else?
Okay. One more for you. This one's going to bang. UFC 308, October 26th in Abu Dhabi. We're looking at Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. Give me a minute and 45 seconds of absolute violence.
Fair. Um, yeah, that'll be a good fight. You said that was 308?
Yeah, UFC 308, October 26th.
Abu Dhabi. So reports are starting to come in that Armin and Dustin are gonna fight on that card.
Ooh, Armin money.
They're not going to fight
And
each other, right?
oh, they are. And there's secondary reports out there saying that it could be for the interim title. No, I shouldn't say that. There's not reports saying that it could be for the interim title. There are reports circulating that they could be fighting in Abu Dhabi, and Armin wants to fight for an interim title.
You said versus DP?
Yeah.
Wait, why isn't Armin fighting Islam?
Because Islam's hand is hurt. I
Yeah.
told you guys that.
I forgot
For the
about
record,
that.
I told you motherfuckers that fight was not happening a week before anybody else fucking said it. I fucking told you boys that one wasn't happening. He hurt his thumb, guys. He pulled the muscle in his fucking thumb. Yeah, it is what it is. But there were reports that they were trying to rebook Armin and Charles right away. Don't know why that is. And Armin and Chandler were starting to warm up. And it might look like, for a second, like Chandler might have got off the McGregor trail, but it looks like it's going to be Armin and DP in Abu Dhabi.
There's no way in hell they make Armin and DP.
It doesn't make sense. If they do, it can't be for an interim title.
It can't be for an interim title. It can't be. I will do some very bad things if Dustin Poirier gets another shot at gold.
Oh yeah, Chris Benoit, calm down over there.
Like really, maybe not the whole family, but I'm gonna find a pet.
Man, when we are over on YouTube, you can't say shit like that. I also can't call you Chris Benoit probably either. That'll probably get us fucking booted over there too. I don't know. Let's get away with it when we're just streaming our stream, which we're doing. Shout out Dead Picks. Jailton Almeida. So Sergey Spivak didn't call anybody out. Said, I just want to fight somebody ranked above me. Jailton Almeida said, hey, number 8, I'm number 7. Let's fight. Sure. I'm glad to see the heavyweights starting to mix it up, keep the division moving. I will say I do think the talent in the heavyweights top 10 is slowly growing as a whole. Given that it's a division that we bag on quite a bit. Yeah, just shouting that out for them. Okay, so kind of spoke about Francis. Eric Nixick says he still thinks that John versus Francis can happen. I don't get it, man. I don't understand why they hold on to it. And I don't understand why reporters still fucking ask about it. It's like PFL's paying them to keep bringing it up. Let Francis move the fuck on. Dude's a killer. Let him move on. MMA Fight Bubble at the Fight Bubble, or it's the Fight Bubble at the Fight Bubble, posted a video of John Jones spending some time with some handicapped kids, disabled kids in his community. Yeah, John does good shit too, man. He actually does a lot of that shit. He does that care thing every year where they give away dozens and dozens of book bags. Whatever. Just because you're a fuck off doesn't mean you can't do decent shit for people too. It should get reported on both sides. Tom Aspinall did an interview. Here we go. Tom Aspinall did an interview with TNT. Yep, with TNT Sports, and said that Stipe should get Joe Biden. I don't know if everybody heard the quotes. Get Stipe out of there. Let's be honest. The guy is 43. He had a 4-year layoff, and his last fight was a knockout loss. Granted, he's an absolute legend in the sport. He's the best heavyweight ever. Like statistically, he's the best heavyweight ever. But the guy needs to be pulled out of the race. Someone needs to Joe Biden him. He's too old. Good comment. Funny. I don't know. Everybody wants to see Francis fight. Francis is almost 40. Stipe is what, 43? Or he'll be 43 when they fight, right? I don't know, man. Stipe posted pictures. I will say this wholehearted and sincerely. Stipe Miocic posted a picture of his current physique, and he's in better shape than Tom Aspinall. Anybody see it?
I didn't, but get him out of there, man. Come on. Like, he hasn't fought in 4 years. Like, Sheesh. That's such a long
You know
time.
what I want to happen more than anything, for real, for real? Like, you guys are going to be like, that's fucking ridiculous. I want John Jones to break 3 toes the day before the fight, and I want Tom and Stipe to fight. That's what I want. I want to see Tom have to fight fucking Stipe and see how that shit goes. And then the winner can fight John or what the fuck ever. I don't care if they all 3 retire. But that's the fight I want to see. Connor J, nice to see you on the mic. Get after it.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah, obviously everything Tom said, 100% fact. I agree with everything you said. I don't think that he looked. I think he looked in fine shape. I saw that picture you're talking about, Joe. I think he looked in fine shape for a geriatrical man. So good on him for that. I don't think it really means much. I don't think he looked better than Tom physically. I mean, Tom is like a physical specimen. We also like see Tom fight, so we know how good a shape he's in and like how he performs. So, I think it would be funny if John, like I'm not wishing John to get hurt, obviously, but if he did get hurt and then Tom had to fight Stipe or Stipe had to fight Tom, whatever, that like Stipe just wouldn't take the fight. Like he's not fighting John. I mean Tom at any point, especially on short notice. So, while it would be funny, but Stipe just wouldn't take that fight.
So Tom's going to be the backup. Stipe's not going to have a choice. Dana said Tom is going to be the backup for that fight.
Oh, Tom will be the backup, but I just 100%. I'll believe it when I see it. There's no way Stipe's going to sit out this long for John and then have to fight for what would probably be the interim title or whatever. There's no way that he would do that. I think Stipe would just not take the fight.
Yeah, I doubt it happens too. I'm just saying I'd like to see it happen. I definitely doubt that it happens. Shout out to Colby Covington. Not for any other reason except for him and Little Pump and Vitaly or Vitali. I don't know how he says it. It's the streamer guy that's like the new to Catch a Predator. Man, they were out there catching more people. Colby Covington got on board with it. I like them dudes. I think what they're doing's badass, and I haven't seen one person they've rolled up on yet actually try to stand up for themselves and defend themselves. Every one of them cave and know they're doing wrong, and every one of them know they shouldn't be doing it. And I think what them dudes are doing is fucking right on. I think it's badass that Elon Musk lets that be viewed. I know there's a lot of shit we don't want to see, but freedom of whatever it is that allows everybody to post what they want is what also allows us to see this shit, because them videos get banned over on Facebook and other fucking platforms, and it doesn't make any sense at all that they would ban a video of a child predator getting caught in the act and then being arrested. They fucking deserve what they deserve it. It's always worry about the criminal, always worry about their rights. You don't have the right to put them on TV and slander them and do this and do that. Not worry about the little kid they were trying to meet or worry about what the intent were. Yep. And, I stand pretty heavy on that. So good for him. And he also posted a video trashing the Olympics, whatever, how you feel, and giving LeBron James shit for carrying the American flag for the team. I do got to say that I did kind of agree with him on the fact that LeBron has been very anti-American nationalism, and then to be the guy who takes the flag and runs out there is kind of ironic to me. Usman.
So first and foremost, of course, always anti-child predator. Um, for the whole fucking Vitali thing, or however it says, I don't know how to feel about it, man. And it's weird because way back in the day, I used to think like, why can't there be a channel like that's that's always exposing child predators all day, every day, 24 hours? Just videos of fucking people exposing child predators so that they're put out there for absolutely everybody to see. But I guess now that I actually see it, I'm like not into the whole humiliation porn. I'd rather just see them beat the shit out of these guys rather than do the whole act of like Kobe Covington one punch and he's gonna kill you. And it's not only Kobe Covington, it's like all these rappers that do all this shit too. Like the game getting in this guy's face in a restroom stall. Like I get the message behind it, but I'd honestly rather you just beat his ass unconscious than all this
You
extra
can't
shit.
though. You can't do that.
Ugh,
Though.
I know, but also who are they gonna tell? They gonna call the cops? They gonna call the cops? No. Just beat a predator or something, man. I don't like all these extra steps and bullshit.
Yeah, so I actually don't even like that they hit the people and shit. Like, just get them arrested, and not that I think they don't deserve to be hit. Just get them arrested and give it over with. Stop. I don't know. They do tend to be aggressive about catching the people, and it's like, listen, man, what you're doing is about what you're doing, not about that. And I feel like it kind of throws maybe some of the legal action that'll be able to be taken out of the window because of the way they approach these people. Because you're fucking beating on them and intimidating them. And these people are going to be able to say, I was afraid to stick up for myself. You're going to give them built in defenses. Just fucking get them arrested and roll on with it, in my
It it
opinion.
kind of
Uh,
it kind of makes a
Go ahead.
joke out of the topic as well. It just like haha, we're laughing, everybody's loving that fucking they're putting whipped cream on this fucking they made this fucking predator get into his boxers and they're fucking throwing shaving cream all over him. Like, this is not a joke, man. Beat the fuck out of him or like you said, just get him arrested. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so fair enough, fair play. Not everybody's killing it with everything they do, but Connor J, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with the whole like predator stuff. I obviously, like Usman said, fuck child predators. They suck, obviously. Um, but yeah, like humiliating them and whatever. It kind of seems like it's like whoever is doing the humiliating. I know like the Batali dude isn't the only person that does this. There's some people on Twitter that go around that find them and then they like slap them around and whatnot. And it kind of seems like they sort of do it uh, for other reasons and just to catch like these predators. It kind of takes away the shine from like stopping these guys or whatever. But yeah, fuck child predators. Also, uh, I don't really agree with like the Colby's. Obviously, Colby's like a big old dickhead, but like saying that LeBron shouldn't be carrying the torch because he like speaks out on what he feels like on social like justice issues. Like that's like a very patriotic thing to do. I feel like using your freedom of speech to speak out on things you don't agree with. So, but I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm biased, and I don't like Kobe, so I'm also biased. But yeah,
Fair enough. I won't debate it back because I gave my opinion and everybody's entitled to theirs. Bilal Muhammad is heated back and forth with Marty Usman. I would be very, very, very surprised if that's not Bilal's first title defense. I know I know everybody's like, but it seems like that's where it's going. I'm not going to get into all their tweets on and on about it, but they have been fucking on and on about it. Connor J, go ahead.
yeah, I think Bilal's first title would probably be against Shopcott, but I wouldn't be surprised either if it's Usman. And he's like Bilal. You can say whatever you want about him, but he's been killing Usman in these Twitter back and forth, just hitting him with and stuff. So I think it's been pretty entertaining. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Usman either, and I think Bilal beats him.
Yeah, I agree. Bilal's definitely winning the exchanges. Usman's threw a few good jabs out there, I'll say. Landed a few good ones, but Bilal's gotten the better of him. And I would be surprised if Usman could beat him at this point in Usman's career. Shot knees, man. Cardio's good, but not Bilal's cardio. Yeah, I don't see it. Let me go back up here. So Meredith Brown, that's the woman that accused Alex Pereira of sexual assault, posted a second statement on her TikTok. Says the DMs going around about her saying she's promoting her OnlyFans is not true. Says she hasn't answered any questions due to verbal abuse and violent threats online. Says she doesn't know anybody in explanation. Alex does. She didn't contact the authorities because of how fucked up the system is. She's fully prepared for her to take him to take her to court. And claims that her Instagram is shut down due to mass reportings. Not, like she didn't shut it down. Her friend Jess or Jesse, I don't fucking know, made a video saying that her and Alex's friend, who Meredith named as the translator, are friends and get along, and it's just that simple. And everything's good between them. I don't know, man. I have a hard time with it because she's taking no legal action. I have a really hard time with it because there's no legal action being taken whatsoever. Your story is rough when it's listened to. And the fact that you're just not willing to take legal action and seem to have every mistake or every reason in the world except for I walked in there and did it. I don't know. It really makes me hard. It makes it hard for me to be compassionate to the story that she's telling. And it seems like her angle is always that she is noble or that she is like somehow the underlying hero in a manner that, like, I'm not doing it because the system's fucked. I'm not doing it because people are toxic. I'm not, like, she's got all these reasons why she's not doing it because of other people. I don't know. I have a hard time with it, man. Dead Pics, nice to see you on the mic, bud. Go ahead.
What's up, brother? Sorry for being late. I was kind of having a little issues, but we're up. We're good. But yeah, it's in regards to this, man. Like, let's just call a spade, bro. Like, she's lying. You don't have to be a body language reading expert. Like, all you gotta be is a person that's been through like some real life. She was telling her story that this bitch is lying. This bitch is lying. Like, I did not believe her at all. And I'm not gonna be one of those guys that's gonna pour on her, like talking, this, 'cause I'll say that for the chats. I'll say that for behind closed doors. I'm not gonna say it to this person to their face, but in reality, man, like it's just a spade, bro. Like she did it for clout. I don't believe her. I don't think anyone believes her, to be honest. Like, anyone in their right mind doesn't believe her unless you're one of those simple minds, that have the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, bro, like she faked it, bro. I mean, her friends even out like on video saying like that shit never happened. That they're not friends no more. I mean, it could be doctored, but I'm pretty sure I saw that clip like going around earlier. I'm pretty sure you mentioned it, but yeah, dude, like this girl's got some legal repercussions because there's no way that you could just try to tarnish a whole man's legacy, especially someone like Alex, who comes from the fucking forest and becomes a champion and does all this. It's not right, man. There's got to be some type of repercussions for this.
If it is found that she fabricated a story for any type of clout, I would agree. And again, I'm not going to attack her. I wasn't there. I don't know, but if that is the situation and there's no ramifications for that, that would seem crazy to me. Ozzy, nice to see you on the mic, bud. Get after it.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, nobody ever wants to accuse a woman of lying in this situation. But even if you believe everything she said, I'm still not. Don't think a crime has taken place here. Um, It sounds like it was her friend that was the one with the crush on Pereira. I don't know how this girl ended up. Seems like she kind of cut in line, and she's the one that ended up in bed with him. But whatever the case may be, man, I'm getting serious Amber Heard vibes out of this girl. It just seems like she thought that there was an angle here. She probably thought she would get a payout or some keep quiet money, and it's not coming. Yeah, this girl, she kind of dug herself in a hole. That last thing she read out is kind of, oh, I'm telling the truth, but there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to take it any further, kind of thing. It looked like she was probably reading a statement someone much smarter than her wrote out. Um, but yeah, it looks like she got caught slipping here. Her friend's not going to back her up. If you're in bed with somebody and you want to go and your friend's getting up and leave, maybe go with them. That's the first thing comes to my mind. Why she would stay, I got no idea. But her story just reeks. It reeks of bullshit. Seems like she cock blocked her friend there, jumped in, and yeah, thought she'd get in a payout, but no, there's no money coming. If anything, she's probably going to get in a bit of trouble, have to retract her statement, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she has to give some type of public retraction. All right, so Jarno Aaron says if he doesn't get re-signed to the UFC, he's gonna. I need to be honest with myself and my girlfriend, is what he posted. Kevin at Real Kevin K is where I got that post and that quote from. Trying to credit everybody, trying to make sure I have it all that and everything I write. I'd not probably a lot to talk about there. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Kind of combat related. Old man Jesse Ventura recently called Hulk Hogan a scab rat. Says he tried to start a wrestlers union back in the day, and Hogan went to Vince behind his back, which is what inevitably cost him his job with the WWF. And then he went into a bunch of political shit. I don't know. It's just funny. He's mad as fuck after all these years. He's still mad as shit about it. Didn't he go on to be like a governor and shit? Like, he did all right in life. I don't know why he's so fucking bitter, but he's bitter as shit. I'll say that. All right, getting down to the last two, and then I got a closer for later. Weight cutting. All right, so Odd Smoker Steve at Odd Smoker Steve posted a thing about Danny Barlow missing weight by a quarter pound, wasn't able to continue cutting weight, got fined 20%. Chelsea Chandler missed weight 33% of her career, was fined, missed weight by 5 pounds, was fined 25%. Make the math. Then I started wondering what Chepe got fined. He came in overweight and he got fined. It was like a pound and a half, if I recall, and he got fined 20%. My question is the fines and giving the opponents the part of your purse and all that. That's fine and dandy. You're paying that guy more money. It's like you're bribing him. It's the idea is that we've negotiated this deal once before, so this is how this deal gets negotiated, and then they look at each guy and say, "Do you want it? You want to take it or leave it?" Where is the cutoff? Like, there has to just be a point where if you go this far overweight, it's just the fucking fight is canceled. We're not going to have it. I know that a few commissions, 55, for example, is 146 to 156 or whatever the fucking exact number is, 150, 145 or 146.1 or what the fuck ever it is. But 30% of that, which would be like 3.3 pounds. If you go over that, your fight should be fucking canceled out, in my opinion. Welterweight, the whole class is a 15-pound class. 5 pounds. Like, I think there just needs to be a limit implied where if you miss weight by this much, the fight is just off. And I think the UFC should have to pay the fighter that made weight Fuck them. They got the money, and I don't give a fuck. They should have to pay him. Usman.
I was just gonna ask, who makes the rule? It's not the UFC, right? It is the commission. Like, who makes the decision on how much somebody's going to get their purse deducted?
Yeah, the fine, I believe. No, I don't know that because they call it a fine, but it goes to the opponent. So I don't know if it has to pass through the commission's hand first and get taxed. I don't know that. I've never actually even thought about that. And I'm going to try to dig into that, see if I can get one of the big reporters to see if they can figure it out or see if I can dig it up on my own.
I would assume that it's not the UFC based on the whole um, contractor shit, not a real employee. We can't make you do something with your money kind of shit. But if it is the commission, I mean, who cares, and who cares to know why somebody gets fined more than the other, because the commission is just going to pull random shit out of their ass whenever they want to take money from a fighter, like fucking the jumping on the cage, jumping out of the cage, Armin fighting with the damn person in the stands. Like, they just make shit up left and right for occasions on when they need to take a little money from the fighters.
I agree with that. But I actually think it's the UFC. I think that's why the numbers change. I think that's why it varies. I think that's why we've heard Dana White say, we offered this, we offered that. Wonder Boy, he said, oh, we tried to give him it. We tried to make that all happen. We tried to. So I think it's the UFC. So, and even if it's not, you could just put it in the fucking contracts. If you miss weight by this much, the fucking fight is over. You don't have to wait for the commissions to regulate it for you. It could just be in the contracts. Aussie.
Yeah, I know Chael Sonnen was lobbying early in his career to get fighters that miss weight. They forfeit the match and it's a win on your record and a loss on theirs. That would happen so much in the UFC. I don't see it happening. But if they did have like they already get a £1 allowance. That's the allowance. What is everything after the allowance? You know, if you break that, the fight should probably be off. You should get paid. And I guarantee you, if you're getting paid, UFC has to pay you for your fight, even though you're not fighting. They're going to get a lot stricter on these guys that miss weight. They're going to start dictating, no, this is your weight class. You miss weight once, that's it. You're up a weight class. And that's how they're going to do it. People are going to make weight. And we're not going to see these fucking 5 pound misses and things that are just crazy. So, yeah, I don't mind that. I think you miss weight, that's it. You don't get paid, obviously. Your opponent does. And you're going to owe your cornerman money or whatever the deal is there. But yeah, I don't think 20% is enough, really.
Me either. I think it's
And
bullshit.
they might have to pay. I don't know if they have to pay their managers a percentage out of that. I know that a lot of managers claim, a percentage of their win bonuses. Whether they're getting 10%, they get 10% of the win bonus, fight of the night bonus, all that kind of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they tack on that as well and get a percentage of the 20%.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. All right, we're inside our last 15 minutes here before we jump over to the card. I'm saving about 5 topics I'm going to spit out as one topic for what we close with. What do I got here? UFC 307 in Salt Lake City is officially in Salt Lake City on October 5th. Mike Russell at Mike Russell MMA posted that the UFC is coming back to Edmonton on November. And it will likely be scheduled for Rogers Place. It was discussed, he says it was discussed at tonight's Edmonton Combative Commissions meeting. Combative Sports Commissions meeting. He posted that yesterday. So looks like those events are official. Jan Blachowicz versus Volkan Ozdemir targeted for 309. Mike, who's
Ooh.
Jeez.
You're tripping, bro.
Yeah, I don't like Ozdemir. I don't think he's good. I fade his ass. So you ain't gonna catch me betting on him. All right, quick little overview. Combat sports in the Olympics. A Indian wrestler was named Vanish Listen, man, I'm not fucking around. It is forgot, okay, or forgot. It's something close to that. Was disqualified for missing weight by 100 grams, and her opponent was given the gold medal. That's the type of shit weight cutting should result in, man. You lose. You lose. You don't get the W. You don't get the no contest. You don't get the whatever. You don't get any of that bullshit. You get the fucking L. I don't. I guess the opponent consequently has to get the win. They could maybe come up with a new type of win, like a OW or something, out of contest win or something like that, so that it's easier to clarify in a fighter's record. But that kind of reinforces what Chael and why Chael would be after it, because we all know that he's deep background in wrestling. I believe it was a Mexican kickboxing athlete did two spinning kicks that kind of looked sloppy to a Japanese fighter and knocked him out fucking cold. It was vicious. The crazy thing is the Olympics need everything to be so official that the paramedics are rushing in. There's like 4 or 5 fucking paramedics rushing in to try to help this kid, and the referee is looking over their shoulder down at the dude's face, counting 1, 2, 3. Almost comical. The guy was okay, so comical to see. So we've talked about the XY chromosomes, Amain Khalif and Lin Yuting or Lin Yuting. And we talked about them winning gold medals, I believe. If not, it might have happened right after last week's space. They both won gold medals. But Aman Khalif has announced that legal action will be taken for online harassment. Not real sure how that's going to go, or yeah, I don't know what type of legal action you can take. But yeah, that's that. Kennedy Blades, which is a wrestler for the women's U.S. Olympic team, fucking dominated Germany 11-0. If you guys haven't seen her suplex that chick, she German suplexed her. Oh my God, it was fucking disgusting. It's not, intentional. The landed a little wrong on the neck. I've got bad neck problems. So for me, all I seen was just a lifetime of fucked up neck. But Kennedy was just an absolute beast. There was a struggle of like physical strength where they were clinched, and she just fucking outmuscled her and flipped her backwards. German suplex the shit out of her. It was impressive. Jake Paul says he's boxing on Team USA in the 2028 Olympics. So now Jake Paul's gimmick is that he's going to go beat a bunch of amateur boxers. Right? Isn't that what isn't that what that is?
Good for him.
I
Yeah.
mean, aren't there like, isn't there like the rule like you could be a pro and still compete? So I'm pretty sure he'll fight like 1 or 2 pros, but that's gonna be his claim to fame, I guess, huh?
Nothing
Yeah.
pisses me off more than when you see a boxer that's what 7-0, but then you hear the commentary say something like he has 240 amateur fights and got a bronze in the Olympics. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on. um, I understand exactly what you mean. 827 unanswered wins as an amateur 14 gold medals, and you're like, dude, who fucking cares? Them guys go out there and beat the shit out of each other. A lot of them, in the lower weight classes, the Olympics transfer a lot, but in the upper weight classes, you don't see a lot of Olympic boxers dominate. It happens, but you just don't see it. Oscar De La Hoya posted a video. I think it's a series because I've seen a couple of them now that he calls Clapback Thursday. He looks like he must do his lines right before because he's not all fucking drippy yet, and he's pretty clear eyed and clairvoyant. So I assume he's hitting them lines right before he goes live. But he's pretty clear headed seemingly when he does it, and he says that Canelo is a piece of shit. He actually said, "I'm not the only one that thinks Canelo's a piece of shit." He says Turki Al-Sheikh revealed that Canelo refuses to even meet with him in person. Says Canelo priced himself out even for the Saudis. Says he's doing it strictly to avoid David Benavidez. Says Turkey is trying to make the best fights. Canelo doesn't want to do it. Says the September 14th bout against the UFC will bomb. Canelo's already being asked in interviews about going up against the UFC, and he's like, I don't care. I'll be fine. I'm special. Canelo's special. He thinks he'll do fine, which he probably will. They'll probably both do great. My thing is, what are the chances Turki Al-Sheikh intentionally sponsored UFC Noche because Canelo Alvarez would not do a deal with him?
What are the chances? I'll take minus 800.
For sure. Um, yeah, I gotta believe that was a shot that you gotta really be paying attention to see. Um, yeah, that wasn't on accident. I gotta feel like that Turkey did that shit on purpose. Probably one of the slickest moves I've seen by a promoter in a while, to be honest with you. Uh, Fly way under the fucking radar. Slick move, though. I think it was a slick move. All right, so we're inside the last 5 minutes before we move to the card. Usman, why don't you throw out whatever you got left on fight announcements? We'll hit those. We'll roll over to the card, and then I'm going to save probably a 5-minute piece I got for the closing statement for the night, or the closing talk for the night.
Yeah, so it was a slow week on the fight announcements. I've got three left, but right before I go to that, I'll just say back to the whole Canelo thing. Um, would I like to see him fight Benavidez? Are a lot of these fights kind of just like fodder or filler fights? Sure. But it's kind of cool to see at least one person not bending over to kiss the ass of His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, because seems like everybody is bending over backwards for that paycheck, and at least one person isn't gonna bend down to him. So it's cool, especially with him really sounding like a promoter and talking about how Canelo's to make fights now. It's like, chill the fuck out, Turkey. Chill out. November 9th, Melissa Mullins versus Montserrat Rendon. I expect a lot of y'all to wear the hands. I want to see some hands for this fight.
Who's fighting?
Mike.
Mm,
Mike. Tell him who it is. Tell him who it is, Usman.
Melissa Mullins versus Montserrat Rendon.
You
I'm
know you're taking Montserrat.
Yeah, I like Montserrat.
Montserrat and over. Montserrat and over. This is not Montserrat Conejo with all the scary tattoos. This is the 135 girl. But who cares? We're spending too much time on it. November 16th, the All American is back. Chris Weidman versus Eric Yaboy Anders.
What the fuck promotion is that?
Oh, that's UFC, buddy. And that,
No.
I thought Eric Anders
yeah.
retired. Oh wait, I'm
You
thinking
know
of
what,
Jamie
Mike?
Pickett. My bad.
I was gonna say, Mike, you would have probably thought Chris Weidman retired, but no, they are both still fighting.
Who's Eric
What
Anders fighting?
card is that?
Chris Weidman.
Oh, That's actually not. That's not a bad fight.
It's a good over, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What card is it?
November 16th.
So it's not a pay-per-view because
No, it's not.
that's gonna be a main event, bro.
No, behave.
That's gonna be a main event. Where's it at? Newark?
I believe that actually is the pay per view. UFC 309, Madison Square Garden.
Oh my god!
It's
They're
okay.
gonna put Jan Blachowicz and Ozdemir and Eric Anders and Chris Weidman on a fucking MSG card on the same card.
On the John Jones card.
What the
Hey man,
fuck?
Blachowicz, that deserves to be on that card.
It's a night full of retirement.
I don't have. Connor J, I seen your hand go up, bro. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, hopefully, Eric is practicing his eye poke defense after Chris's last fight.
Bro, I hope Eric goes out there and gets. I don't. What else do you have, Usman? What else you got?
Okay, last one. December 17th, UFC 310. If you weren't happy with the last one, you're not going to be happy with this one. Anthony Lionheart Smith is back against Dominic Reyes.
What
UFC
card is
can't help.
that?
That is a UFC 310.
I
More
mean,
than
what else
like
are you gonna do?
December 17th, more than likely the last card of the year.
What are you gonna do though with
What
them
do you,
guys? What else are you gonna do?
uh,
I mean, I was mad at it at first, but really, what the fuck? What are you gonna do?
they're trying to get him back into the top five, that's for sure.
No,
One
they're
of them.
not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Oh, bro, you know they're gonna push one of these guys. It's so dumb.
Sometimes I just. What's worse, heavyweight or light heavyweight at this point?
Heavyweight's still kind of worse. It's making a come
Kind
up
of.
though. It's making a come up.
Yeah, but see, because you said kind of worse. It used to be no fucking debate, man. Connor J.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty. I agree with Usman. Or I don't know if he said it. Like, what are you gonna do with what are you gonna do with these guys? I think it's sort of like a perfect matchup, especially for Reyes. Like Reyes coming off a much needed win. Hopefully, like, this is sort of who Anthony Smith is right now. It's just the next guy up, kind of gatekeeper type role. So I think it's a fine fight. Hopefully Reyes wins so he can keep some sort of momentum going. And I actually kind of think that heavyweight is better right now. I think the only thing that's good about light heavyweight is Alex Pereira, personally.
So I would agree that the top of heavyweight is more fun than the top of light heavyweight right now. All the way down, that would be a debate I'm probably not going to open up right now. That's it for announcements, Usman.
Yeah, the only other thing I have is Bellagio Ali Wash is fighting another guy at PFL this weekend. If y'all haven't heard, that's Muhammad Ali's grandson. They'll say it about 17 times during the broadcast.
Dude's good though,
Yeah,
man.
kind.
Hey, I've been cashing unders even on that damn 3 minute round, so
Oh yeah,
I
I was
appreciate
sweating
it.
on that one because I didn't even realize the amateur fights were 3 minute rounds. So like I got it in right under the bell on that one.
Drip and sweat, and he's been cashing us out. So please, PFL, keep giving him losers because now these are pro fights.
All right, that's a way to look at it. Okay.
Gives us
Where's
another 4 minutes.
All right, so we're live over on YouTube where everything's up and streaming. UFC 305. We're hour 18 minutes in. I'm time marking all that somewhere. We're gonna jump into the card here. So the card's going down in Perth at the RAC Arena, which I'm not sure if that's the arena they normally go to, actually, because I just don't think that it is, but I could be tripping. Ozzy would know, but he steps out. He steps in and out during the space. I'll have to ask him when he gets back in here. Fight card kicks off with Stewart Nicoll versus Jesus Santos Aguilar. The odds on this fight, let me scroll back up. I was down there looking at that Francis fight. Odds on this fight plus 179 for Aguilar, JSA. Stewart's minus 227. That's 27 books reporting. That's your average. So I actually looked Stewart up. I found 3 of his fights. I watched all 3 of them. I don't understand how he's the favorite. I feel like he depends very, very much on being able to outstrength his opponent, not out tactic his opponent. And that's what leads to a lot of his success. The over 1.5 is set at minus, or over 2.5 is set at minus 165. The under is plus money. I probably would take the over, but I like JSA. I think a lot of people, I actually made some notes on this one. Let me scroll down over here real quick. So I went back and watched a couple of his fights. And I think that people are probably, I think the line is probably set based on the fact that what Tatsuro Taira did to him, and then the fact that he got taken down so much against Mateusz. And then attach the 8-0 record for Stewart, the fact that he's overpowered a few guys in the grapple. But what I'm trying to say is it's like when it's a locked grapple. It's not tactic. He doesn't finesse his way to out grapple his opponent. There's literally been situations where they're chest to chest and they're just pushing against each other almost to the point of standing up, and he wins that exchange and the opponent lands on the ground, and then he's able to pursue ground and pound and some other things. And I just don't think it goes over with JSA. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it goes over with JSA. I don't know that I would parlay him because it'll bust your parlays right out the gate if the dog is wrong, but it's dog or pass for me. And I may play him in a 1 or 2 or in a 2 or 3 leg parlay with 1 or 2 other plays that are kind of risky. See if I can stack some odds up on it. Mike, tell me why I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, man. You got to bet Jesus Aguilar. I don't understand the lines either. I thought he would clearly be the favorite. Look, man, Jesus is he's a thick boy down there in that lower weight class, man. He is really strong, really good at wrestling, and he's got really good. Well, how would I say this? He's an opportunistic defensive grappler. Like if you get him down, you might be able to control him, but he's biding his time to find that opening, and he is very fast whenever you give him that opening to get back up. I think strength wise, this is Jesus Aguilar's fight. I think cardio wise, this is Jesus Aguilar. I think power, when it comes to punching power, that boy got knockout power. Look, man, Stewart Nicoll is just, he's not really good on the feet. When I watched him fight, he wasn't that great. He's not as fast as Aguilar, although Aguilar is a little bit wild too, but he's more of just a relentless grappler, and he hasn't really fought anyone like Aguilar. So when you have an opponent that is going up against their toughest competition, because Stewart is not the toughest competition for Jesus. Jesus is going to be his toughest competition. It is a dog or pass. Throw a little, just don't even parlay it. Just throw a little bit on the dog. Straight money line play.
Yeah, I agree. It probably does go over. It probably is a decision. But I'm not even saying play the over, man. I just think JSA is the play here. Usman, you playing anything on this one, bud?
Well, look at us. Somebody post that meme of Paul Rudd saying, what does he say? You know the meme. Look at us. Who would have thought? Dude, I've been thinking I'm gonna be all over Jesús Aguilar since this fight got announced. Not even really looking into Stewart Nicoll when it got announced, but just at these odds, Jesús Aguilar is the dog. I will basically just be saying everything that Mike said. His explosiveness, his explosion on the ground to anti-grapple or to get out of some bad positions. I just I really like Jesús Aguilar here. Just to throw some numbers at y'all. Right now we're looking at line flips for 2024 being 19 and 35, the flips hitting at 54.28%. Stuart Nicoll opened up as a dog, and now he's a minus 230 favorite from the opening, plus 135. Give me Jesus Aguilar all day, because I'm just not gonna trust a young cat who's gonna flip the line this bad.
Listen, I looked up their age. I was surprised he's a year older than Jesus because you know how like sometimes guys come in and you're like, all right, he's young. He needs some time. And it's because you don't feel like you're looking at that grown man strength in the fighter. That's exactly how I feel when I watch Stewart. And when I watch Jesus fight, you feel like you're watching grown man strength fight. You feel like you really got to out muscle him. You've really got to be stronger than him. You've really got to have developed technique and strength. And man, I don't know. I think JSA is the side. If we're wrong, we're wrong together. I still think he's the side. I don't see any hands up. That's how we do it around here. So I'm gonna stamp this one on. Next up is Song Kenan and Ricky Glenn. Odds on this fight, 29 books are reporting it. It's been up for about 10 days. Minus 182 is the average on Song. Glenn is coming in at plus 147. I'm going to be completely honest out the gate. These guys both coming off losses. Neither one of them are guys I think are very dependable in a betting stance. I don't even think you can count on these guys to go over or under. To throw that out there, it's set at 1.5, minus 155 to go over, plus 125 to go under. This fight's a pass for me. I'm a parlay better, and I just can't find a angle that I feel is strong for a parlay here. So this is a pass for me. Usman, what are you playing?
So because I just always do it, what I'll have is over 1.5. Because I always parlay over the overs on the first four fights. But man, I just really don't like this fight either way. If I'm going to take a side, I'm going to take Song Kanan because he is the actual 170-pound fighter. He does have some knockout power against Ricky Glenn, whose chin has been cracked 2 times against a Christos Giagos. I mean, ew, brother, ew. Yeah, I probably won't pick a side. Maybe I'll play Sankanan by KO. Right now, it is sitting at plus 105. That's still not even good enough. Maybe look at some round props, but round props and over. Maybe KO too.
Fair enough. I'm not gonna argue it. No hands, so I'm gonna roll on. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm okay with it. Just if I sometimes it lags. I figured out, and I may not see your hand, so I say no hands in case somebody is got a hand up and they want to be like, oh, I
Well,
had my hand up. So
you went
that's
to
why I
me
constantly
first,
check
so
it
go
out.
to Mike.
Oh shit! See, bad habits right there, Mike. Get after it.
Yeah, I'm on Kanan too. Just because, look, Christos Giagos, or however you say his name, he caught Ricky Glenn because he doesn't have a striking guard. Like his hands are really just like far out extended, and he's not prepared to defend shots. And he got caught with a good one. Kanan is going to be able to touch him up all day. So It's Kenan. That's a pretty confident decision, and I'm actually going to probably put him in a couple parlays.
Damn. Fuck. I felt like that was a skip. If you're parlaying them though, I won't fade myself. I won't go back on it, but definitely maybe changes the way I'm going to look at it while I'm watching it anyway. No hands. Sorry about that. I did go out of order and it fucked me up, but I'm trying to get in the habit of rotating you guys back and forth. All right. So up next is Tom Nolan and Alex Reyes. So 28 books. Nolan is minus 1250 plus 706 on Nolan. The line moved significantly in Reyes' favor somewhere because he was minus 1350 on the averages earlier. So for sure, it's moved at least a little bit everywhere or significantly in a couple of places. But he's minus 2,000 at Grosvenor or Grosvenor. So, I guess I'm scrolling through. Sorry, guys, and I'm stalling my voice a little bit here. There's a bunch of books on this card. All right, so his best line, if you play Betfair, they have 3 books, so I can't always tell you which region it is. You can get Tom Nolan at minus 909 right now. That's fucking insane. He's minus 2,000, minus 1,600, minus 1,400. Whatever. The under is set at 1.5, minus 350 on it, plus 275 to go over. I'll be honest, when I seen this fight, I got really excited. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I hadn't looked at the lines yet. I figured I'd get Nolan at like minus 3 or 400, Bros, when I fucking looked and it was at minus 1350, I about fucking shit. I couldn't believe it. I was playing with some parlays earlier in DraftKings. I was moving them around. Man, I do think he's the clear side. I think the UFC wants him to do something special leading up to the pay-per-view, help boost sales. Man, I don't know if I trust him at minus 1250 though. That's just as honest as I can be. I would never bet against him. I don't think he's a fade. I just don't know if I want to put fucking minus 1250 on him. Mike, tell me why I should.
Yeah, I would just find a prop. But look, Tom Nolan is just a less polished, more wild version of Charlie Campbell, and we saw what happened against that. And I think that fight is going to play out similarly to Reyes' last fight. So Nolan is just he's really accurate, and once he gets into the flow, he just really goes for it. So he's gonna knock him out pretty early. If Reyes survives the first round, he's gonna get knocked out in the second round for sure.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I'll be able to. I'm actually curious to see if I'll be able to juice it around a little bit and see if I can get Nolan under 4 minutes or under 3.5 minutes by knockout to land more significant strikes. Some same game shit. See if I can stack something up. And of course, I'm counting on a fast finish with one-sided output to do it, but I'll probably look around on him come game day and see if I can find the same game on him somewhere, somehow. Usman, what are you betting on this fight? Or are you betting this fight?
So I'm gonna, yeah. Uh, s- all these first 3 fights are supposed to go under according to the split strat. I might actually just go parlay all 3 of them under 2.5, under 1.5, under 1.5. And right now that's sitting at plus 580. Dude, Tom Nolan, like, I don't care if he goes and starches him in 5 seconds. I'm not going to put minus 1,150 on a parlay. Fuck that. I'll just take the under at minus 350 and put a little parlay together there.
Yeah, that's a fair way to look at it. If you can get minus 350 for under 1.5. That's a fair play. I wonder when they drop the props, though. I wonder what I'll be able to get for under 4 minutes. I think that's a good look. Under 0.5, I think, is always crazy. I don't know. It's one that I'm like, I think I've played it once and lost it. Like, I think I played it one time ever.
Hey,
I just don't really.
is Aussie in the chat? No?
He was. I know he comes in and out. He'll probably swing back in
I'll
here.
say right now, Tom Nolan by submission round 1 is plus 1,400. I'll touch it.
Oh, Ozzy's going to be all over that shit on Friday.
Just to give you the other look of it, Tom Nolan in round 1 knockout is minus 160.
Yeah, I like that round 1 knockout, though. I think that's how it happens. So I think if you could get Tom Nolan under 4 minutes to land more significant strikes and a knockdown, you might be able to find plus money on Tom Nolan under 4 minutes, man. I don't know. I know they get hard to hit. I missed one because Tony Ferguson couldn't fucking throw 15 punches. I missed a hard parlay, one that would have killed it on his fight, and was not bummed. Like, I don't get sad about bets, but it's just kind of like, damn, I thought I pegged that one right. Like, that was more how I felt about it. I didn't feel like, oh, I missed my bet. I felt like, fuck, man. I really thought I had that pegged. And even with the way Tony looks, I thought he'd put up fucking 16 punches. So, yeah, whatever. Is what it is. But I'm going to find a way to play it one way or another inside the first round, like I was saying. Up next, we have, fucking Herbert Burns and Jack Jenkins. I'm excited about this fight, man. I'm a Jack Jenkins fan. I like the dude. However, did anybody else notice how many fighters are coming off a loss on this card? Anybody? Because it's fucking insane.
I did not, but I can look at that right now.
Yeah, so if you go to the first fight, it's one debut, so you know he's coming off a win and a winner, right? I think if you go to the next 3 fights, they're all coming off losses.
Well,
I was trying to look.
Nolan is coming off of a win.
Okay, so Nolan is the exception there. But, bro, there are a fuck ton of fighters coming off of losses here. I don't know. It just seems like seems heavy for that on this card. What do we got here? Black Becky. Oh, I think he's been in here before. System of hands. You know how it goes. We let the host get the mics on each fight. If you want to get in, just throw the hand up. We'll make sure we get it to you before we move on. Okay, so anyways, up next, Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns. I always want to say Herbert. I don't know why. Herbert Burns plus 522, minus 833 on average for Jack Jenkins. That's 28 books. I feel like he must be getting hammered all day because he was at a prettier line than that earlier. Not much prettier, but man, I want to say I had him in my book bouncing him around at like 550 or something. Maybe even a little worse than that, or better than that. Either way, doesn't matter. The over set at 1.5, minus 115 to go over, minus 115 to go under. I'm a Jack Jenkins fan. I'm going to take Jack as an easy pick here. I think that the UFC wants this pay-per-view to move fucking numbers. And one of the ways you do that is you get finishes on the prelims. And that's a proven fucking model. Everybody knows it. I think this is one of a couple fights where the UFC lined it up in the idea that there is going to be a fantastic finish. I like Jack Jenkins here at the movement he's getting, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to probably try to take him inside 9 minutes or something, find a finish, find a way to get him at a much better line than minus 770 or minus 833. Jesus, he's fucking minus 1115 at Grosvenor. I think I went Mike first last time. So Usman, what did you take this fight?
Yeah, we're pulling an audible. I'm locking it in right now. First four fights to go under. Parlay is hitting at plus 1,136. As for this fight, of course, it's Jack Jenkins. I'll be touching that under, right? Um, but let's look at some props, man. You're getting Jack Jenkins round one knockout plus 200, round two knockout plus 275. I think both of those are easy money. Herbert Burns is a gasser and a quitter. There's no way he's making it to round three. And just to hedge your spots, the only way Herbert Burns wins this fight is by submission. And it's by round one before he gets super fucking gassy and sweaty. So round one submission for Herbert Burns plus 1,500. But you don't got to touch that. You know what's going to happen.
No, I think that's a great look, though. Like, I agree with you that he's got to get the early submission. Like, it's the only thing he's got going for him in that fight. Mike, what are you playing?
And Usman, you actually said everything I was gonna say. All those bets were on point, and definitely touch that round one submission. It is very possible for him to get it.
Like, I don't want him to, and I don't want to touch it, but I'm a degenerate and I'm going to have to, right? Yeah, you
Especially with his ground game,
love
he
when
is
us three.
very slick on the ground early, and that could be a big problem for Jack if he's not careful. So as long as he gets past those first 2 to 3 minutes, he's good.
Usman, you should look at Burns under 0.5 plus submission when they drop the same games and see if you get something so disgusting on it that you just got to put a few dollars on it. Like, even if it's not units, like literally just a few fucking dollars on it. You might get something sickening on that one. I'm just taking Jack's money line in LA, though. Not even questionable. And then, like I said, I'm going to try to mess with a couple of same game parlays. And I won't lie, they won't be for much money because I never really fucked with them. I get them. I understand them. We bet. But it's just not been something I fucked with at all. So I'm going to throw a few dollars at them and see what I can get going for myself. And I'll probably get some slips posted here on Friday. I don't see no hands. I'm good with that. So I'm going to roll on.
Hey Joe.
Yo, go ahead. Zabets, get after it, bud.
No. Quick question to you: are you taking him minus 900 in LA?
So when I looked at him earlier, I thought I seen him at like 550 or something like that. And I was gonna take him at this rate. Yeah, he'll probably make the big card parlay. So I'll be honest, I was putting shit in my cart or my basket or on my slip or whatever you want to say earlier, moving some shit around, and I'm probably gonna do a few same game parlays, 2 or 3 of them this week. Then I'm probably gonna parlay 8 or 9 of the fights, and then I'm probably gonna parlay 2 or 3 dogs, and that'll probably be everything I do this week. Just really kind of waiting on them same game parlays. I don't know. You get bored doing this or bored doing that, or you just your interest doesn't peak. The same game parlays, man. I was able to stack up something on Michael Chiesa that, man, it came real close to smacking, and I felt like it was crazy odds for things that I thought were easy reads. And I feel like I got a few good reads within the fights, and if I can stack them up, that's what I'm going to play. But Jenkins will make the big one. He'll make the 8 or 9 legger. Um, and then, like I said, I went on and on. Sorry about that, guys. But I definitely will. You know what shit, though? You cannot parlay 2 same game parlays. You can't go in and take Jack Jenkins under 0.5 by knockout plus Tom Nolan under 0.5 by knockout. You can't do it. I think that's bullshit. Just to throw that out there, I think that's total bullshit. I think you should get the lay on the two, like the Jenkins, whatever the Jenkins odds are, and whatever the Nolan's odds are. I think that shit should be able to get parlayed together as well, pending everything that's in line. I would probably quit playing any other way and just chase 3 or 4 leg fucking same game parlay legs. Like I can't even explain it. Whatever. I'm babbling now a little bit, but I do like the same game parlays. Is the fucking point. Casey O'Neill and Luana Santos odds on the board. 27 days. Casey O'Neill plus 131. Santos minus 161. The over 2.5 is set at minus 240. The under 2.5 is set at plus 190. I am not playing scared, but I really think Luana Santos can get it done, and I think she can get it done inside the distance. I'm the first guy over. I don't think the over is a safe play here. You can play it if you want, but I don't think it's that safe of a play, if I'm being totally honest. Santos money line will make the big leg parlay. Mike, what are you playing on this one, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing just the money line. I think anything under minus 200 is pretty good here. I was really impressed with her performance against Stephanie Egger because you could tell it was a short notice fight for her, and it wasn't her best performance, but she was pushing through with that fight, and her striking is just improved, like especially her timing. That how she times her strikes really complements her well-roundedness because when she misses in her judo, it's really just hard to get a beat on her because she's not gonna engage recklessly. She's not gonna really pressure recklessly either. But Casey O'Neill does that. That's just her. She likes to make it a high volume, high pace fight, but she's not defensively sound. And that's going to play right into Luana Santos' striking. And I believe once Santos gets her down, it's over from there. So I'm there with you. I think she can get it done inside the distance, but I'm still going with the over because I think that's the more realistic play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Yeah, just whatever. I don't trust it myself. Usman, what are you playing?
So if I'm looking at line flips and I'm thinking that Jesús Aguilar gets the upset in the first line flip of the night with Stewart Nicoll, then we go ahead and we hit the favorite, the one that actually did flip the line with Luana Santos, and we cash pretty easily. I think Mike was pretty spot on. I asked him about this fight earlier in the week and then went ahead and looked at it. And what he just said is pretty damn perfect. All we need is Luana Santos to land 3 very good strikes, and Casey O'Neill is going to bend over at the waist, put her arms out in a straight line, and mummy walk into a takedown where that judo is just going to trip her over onto her back. I understand where you're coming from on the finish coming. Kind of a little sketch on it. I'm just going to stick to the money line, and we'll just play Luana Santos money line right there because I do think that once she starts getting reckless, she's gonna be able to take advantage of Casey O'Neill, and then just like dude. She went 229 strikes on Roxanne Modafferi, who's got no knees, who's 47 years old, and still barely won a split decision.
Yeah, Modafferi showed up on that
Grappling,
fight.
she did. But grappling when she Casey likes to grapple. Whenever somebody starts to put the pressure on her, she tends to crumble a little bit. Give me Santos all day.
Hey, real quick, off topic, since we just mentioned Modafferi, y'all know she had a son?
Yeah, she just had a
Yeah.
baby. I was gonna make a pregnant
Yeah,
joke.
seen it. One of our former hosts here, Andrew, he may stumble back around one day. He goes to the same gym she trains at and shit. Apparently, pretty nice person. I mean, I never had any other read on her any other way, but apparently, a real nice person. Good for her. I'm happy for her. She does some weird shit with all the video game anime or whatever you young whippersnappers call that shit. But yeah, other than that, she's really cool in my opinion. That's badass for her. Next fight.
Yo, hold on. I'd just like to say that between us three that have been talking, uh, we are all on the exact same side for these first five fights so far. Looking at a four-leg parlay with everybody that we agree on, we're at plus 814 Jenkins, Santos, Kenan, and Jesús Aguilar. I guess if you want to throw in Tom Nolan on there, plus 893. I might lock that in right now.
Damn, bro, that's plus 900.
Yeah, adding Tom Nolan.
I feel like that's a great play.
We just need to get past that first leg. If Santos pulls it off, I think Kenan, Jenkins, Santos, and or Aguilar. If Aguilar pulls it off, Jenkins, Santos, and Nolan are pretty damn crispy right there.
Yeah, I think we'll be yelling at the screen, telling Santos, "Fucking finish her! You fucking finish her! Break her fucking arm!" I, I if JSA gets it done, I think it walks all the way there. Damn, that's a nice play. I need to note that one. I sit down on
I'm
Friday mornings. I
I'm
enjoy
in.
my.
I'm in. Half a unit for 5 units. Let's do it.
All right, I literally muted so I could make a quick note of that in my word pad here. Okay. Up next, Josh Culibao, Ricardo's Ramos featherweight fight. Both guys coming off back-to-back losses. Culibao minus 152. Ricardo Ramos, Ricardo Ramos plus 122, 28 books. This fight is a total pass for me. The over is 2.5. You're getting minus 130 to go over. You're getting plus 100 to go under. I have no betting interest in this fight whatsoever. I think it will be a fine fight to watch. I'm not saying I'm going to do something during this fight. No, I have no betting interest in this fight at all. Usman.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, man. Just to look at it, split strat is telling you that this is gonna go over. We're guiding exactly plus 400 on the ghost to split. Minus 105 on ghost to distance, as we know. Minus on the ghost to distance hits the over at 72.59% in 2024. So we'll just be touching the over. I think if anybody's gonna get a finish, or if the biggest finish outcome is going to be Ricardo Ramos by submission. But I don't see it. I'm just saying that that's what could happen. And man, Ramos better not get fucking knocked out by Josh Culibao. If I'm picking a side, I like Josh Culibao. Fade Twitter, right? Fade everybody that's ganging up on one side. And seems like everybody and their mom is on Culibao this week. So I'll just go the over.
Man, I felt the opposite. I feel like I've seen like several people on Ramos. I feel like I've seen people calling him dog of the week and shit. You know, I get on the Cap account, and I don't know if you guys know, I have made sure I've really started seeking following betters. It's a handicapping websites account, and I try to really read these guys' bets and like them and share them. So I be honest, I don't take notes of everybody's shit, but I'm telling you, several people are calling Ramos the fucking lock of the week. Dog of the week, not lock of the week, dog of the week. Yeah, I don't think this fight is one to bet. Mike, what are you betting?
I am on Ramos. Look, I don't think the his last two performances really speaks to how talented and how much of a threat this guy really is. This dude is really fast. He picks his shots so well, and he's got the grappling advantage. Let's not forget that. He can take Culibao down and he can control him. It's just Jordan. He just got caught, and it's crazy that he got caught with the same submission back to back. But if I'm having to choose a side, I think Ramos is the better striker, and he has the grappling advantage. Now that doesn't mean that Culibao is not going to be a problem. He really is a problem. His footwork is one of the biggest problems, but Ricardo Ramos, he's not gonna how would I he's not gonna force the action. He really just makes sure everything he does is not a wasted motion or a waste of energy. And I think he's faster than Culibao too. And let's not forget those spinning attacks that he does, it those are very accurate. He doesn't really miss on them a lot. So I think at plus money you have to bet on Ramos.
I'm not mad at it. Like I said, full disclosure, I assure you, I will skip this one. It will have no fucking play from me. I hope you both win. I don't know how that'll work out for you, but I hope you both fucking cash on it. That's all I can say. Ozzy, what are you playing?
Hey, mate. I'm on the road at the moment. Can you hear me all right?
Hell yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
you
hear
can?
you. Can you
Okay,
hear
good.
me?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Ramos here, man. Yeah, I got you, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I like Ramos here. I think Culibao is a pretty one-dimensional striker here, and even that dimension's basically boxing. Um, he's not going to have the strength advantage or the power advantage in this spot. He's really, I guess, probably most likely going to win a decision unless we see Ramos quit. You know, a lot of people call him Ramos a quitter. I guess we'll see in this fight. Um, but I don't think he's really going to be in the positions to which he's been accused of being a quitter before. You know, I don't see Culibao going for guillotines or anything crazy like that. So, yeah, I really do think that this fight is probably going to be where Ramos wants it. He does get a lot of takedowns. Culibao's got underrated takedown defense, but he doesn't necessarily need to get a takedown. He's very good at taking you back from standing clinch in the against the cage or whatever. Yeah, so I think there's some good submission potential there, and yeah, I kind of like his money line too. I was surprised this line hasn't isn't flipped. To be honest, I thought he would have been a slight favourite instead of a slight dog.
Um, Again, I think your read is great and fine. I'm not playing it. You did you say that? Did you just say the line flipped?
No. I said I thought it should have been flipped. I thought it should have been Culibao's a slight underdog, but someone was saying before everyone's on Culibao. I see a lot of that too. I'm seeing a lot of Culibao love out there. If you're taking him, you know, I'd probably take him round three or decision. I don't think I'd just take his money line. I wouldn't want to lay juice on Culibao here.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't want to lay juice on either one of these guys, so you know, I'm making a little bit of a mockery of it now, but man, good luck to all of you. I don't know how you'll all cash, but I hope every one of you hit it. I will be watching, but I'll probably be rolling one up during this fight. What's up next on this one? Junior Tafa and Valter, Walker. Walker is how many books is this one at? 27 books. Walker is plus 106. Tafa is minus 132. Man, I am not a betting pussy. This one is also a no action for me. This is not what I consider high level heavyweight. This is not what I consider low level heavyweight. This is what I consider mid level heavyweight, which, unless you see a glaring knockout advantage on one side or the other, is a skip for me. I understand the Junior Tafa upside. I know what I'm about to hear, but I just don't trust him to get it done, man. Skip for me. I got plays on the next few of them, but skip for me. I don't know who I went to first last time. I lose a little track, but let's go Usman first. Usman.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know what the hell's going on with my mic. Dude, I think you take the over 1.5 on this one, and just hope that Walker's using his gas tank early to go ahead and get some takedowns. I think I'll be looking at his takedown prop whenever it does drop, and probably try to hit the over, and then probably Walker by decision at plus 225. And then if you just want to hedge against that, you take Junior Tafa by KO at plus 125, or maybe hit some rounds. I really don't like this fight. I think they're, yes, good night. I think they're low level enough to hit the over 1.5 though.
They could be low level enough to hit the over 1.5. I don't know if I will rule bet it. You guys will see that I'm going to do some rule bets. When the studio gets set up, I will have an area to jot those quote unquote rules that we have down on a place they can be seen in the studio, and I will play them. I will play them out until they're proven to fucking lose or win. And of course, if they win, we'll keep fucking playing them. Mike, what are you playing on this fight?
All right. Well, first, the over is a good bet. There is going to go to a decision, in my opinion. But the you got a kickboxer that's really good with knockout precision, but cannot defend a takedown and barely has any urgency to get up. Walker is going to take him down. He has really strong takedowns and he really runs through on his takedown attempts. And he's very top heavy. So it seemed like a pretty easy decision to me, which is why I'm kind of confused by the betting lines, because they were kind of even and then the money started coming in on Walker. Then now it's completely flipped over to Tafa. Let's be clear. Tafa is not going to be able to get up. He has horrible takedown defense. Walker's just going to grind him out for a 3-round decision.
Usman.
Yeah, so that was another point that I was gonna bring up. Line flips. Tafa being the favorite here from starting off as a dog just doesn't make sense to me. Like Mike was saying, the whole wrestling advantage and whatnot. And then to get back to you, Joe, about how low level these guys are. One loss to Mo Usman, one loss to Lucas Bresky. These are the lowest of the lowest of heavyweights. And just last week, we had Carl Williams and Jonta Denise open up early in the week at over 1.5, and that got bet up to where Bet Online moved it to the 2.5 line, and it still hit. Right now, we're looking at over 1.5 minus 145. Get it now, get it while it's hot, because I'm afraid they move this bitch to 2.5, and then you got to sweat just a little bit.
Yeah, that's good advice. If you're playing that shit, that's good advice. Ozzy, get after it.
Yeah, this is another one where I'm not backing the Aussie here. I kind of think that, what is he, 6'6", cuts to 265. This dude is friggin' huge. I think his last fight with Bretsky was just, I don't know if the big lights got to him or whatever, but he's better than that. He's better than the performance he put on there. And now they've given him another shot at a guy who is really not that great. I mean, he's less well-rounded than Bretsky, in my opinion. He's got nothing on the ground. He's got no get-ups. He's got no takedown defense. He defended a few against Usman, but, I mean, Usman was kind of happy just leaning against him on the cage. Bretsky is so big and strong. I think he can just get trip takedowns, a lot of clinch takedowns. Yeah, I think it's pretty much, I agree with Mike. You know, it's probably going the decision, and I think Bretsky's going to get his hand up. There's going to be a lot of pissed off Aussies in the crowd.
You said Bresky get his hands up, but I know what you meant. You meant Walker.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The Worms brother. Valter.
Yep.
Valter Walker.
Walker. Yep. Valter.
How are those two related, Joe? They're brothers, right? Look nothing
Yeah, I
like each
think
other.
so.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
One's
it's
Russian,
not
one's
like the Tafa
Brazilian.
boys. It's not like the Tafa boys. All right, so about to roll into the main card here. Quick shout out. Everybody in here already knows, but capmma.com, great place to get your odds, compare books side by side, see if you're getting the best parlays. You can search for fighter stats if they're available at the main sources, pfl.com, ufc.com, one.com. Our site will retrieve them for you, give you some links to go see them, show you all the stats. If they're not available, they're not available. You can check scorecards. Aussie loves that feature. So do I. We have a massive database of scorecards. You can search scorecards if you want. Just type fighter's name in, check cards. There's a bunch of other cool features I won't ramble on, but the site, I've done a lot to the site, and there's more features coming and things being worked on behind the scenes even right now. So check it out. Also, Mike in here, allinforbettertimes.com. You check him out over there. Give him a follow here. He's part of our team, but he's got his own setup going. Mike does great videos, great write-ups. Check out. I don't know where. Can they get the link to your YouTube on your page here, Mike?
Yeah, on the homepage at the top, all the socials are up there.
Yeah, so give him a follow over there on YouTube. Mike's got great reads, great takes. He puts a lot of time into it. And then, of course, Usman's co-host here. One of our guys, Trace, has been out for some weeks, but he's messaged me. He'll be back soon. Can't wait to see him. And then Dead Picks down there on the speaker is he does our tech. He makes sure the stream goes up on YouTube. And as the show sets up and we get into a little bit more of a stream that goes along with the space here, Dead Picks will be doing some more stuff and some more cool tricks that keep us going here. So shout out to everybody in here. Thank you. Main card time. Jingliang versus Carlos Prates. Betting odds on this fight, Prates is minus 333 versus a plus 256 over 27 books. It's plus 123 if you take the over 1.5. It's minus 165 if you take it under. I really understand the Carlos Prates KO here. And I may parlay it in that 3-leg that I was talking about. I do worry that the Leech could be the parlay buster of the week here, though. Seems like such an easy play at a glance. When I first heard the fight was announced, I felt like it was maybe a bad matchup for Prates. I looked into it a little bit today. I really understand the Prates finish, the KO. But man, I still worried that if the Leech gets on top of him, maybe stronger than him, even standing up on the feet, maybe strong enough to catch him. I don't know, man. Carlos Prates is not someone that gives me undying confidence in him. Maybe it's him that I doubt because I'm not very high on Lee at all. But man, I'm having a hard time being like, yeah, put Carlos in the fucking leg, make him the sixth leg out of 8 or 9 of them. It'll be fine. I'm fucking struggling with it. Maybe not his money line so much as money line. But if you're going to bet him, you should probably be betting him by KO, in my opinion. Mike, what are you betting on this fight?
Okay, so I get what you're saying, and I've studied the fight, and that's why I'm staying away from it. Because look, I got Prates by knockout too. That's in my notes. Like he's gonna knock him out. His reach, his speed, and just all his weapons that he sets up for at range, and if you're able to close distance, it's just all set up so well. And again, like that fight camp is or a fight team is like there's something special right now. The fighting nerds, they really have game plans for all their opponents, and it seems like their fighters are really good at sticking to them. But Li Jingliang he's good too. He moves really well. He's always good at creating and finding angles that he is able to get his offense at. And his cardio. Just when you have someone that can move as well as Li Jingliang does, and then he has the cardio to back it up, this is going to be his toughest opponent he's fought so far. And that's the rule. You do not bet on them when they're going up against their toughest competition. You're about to find out what Prates is made of. I think he passes, but I'm not touching it.
That's what I meant exactly when I was saying I'm having a hard time with it. Man, it's just fuck. It seems like the parlay buster, Mike. I'm telling you, Usman, what are you doing with this fight? Watch, he's playing the leech to the fucking moon or some shit.
No, my best play of the fight for this one is going to be the over 1.5. It is -205, but I think that's a good little parlay piece. Um, I can't get out of my head that damn knockout of Radke where he caught just such perfect reads, and he did take a little while to find it. I always tell y'all never trust an Asian male chin, and well, Leach has never been knocked out before. I think when you look at the heavy hitters that he has fought, he's pretty much got them out of uh out of the fight in 1 round. So we've never even really seen his chin fully tested. Um, I like Carlos Prates. I like the over 1.5, and I probably will be on the. Oh shit! I won't be on the knockout because it's -130. I'll maybe look at some rounds here for Prates KO round 2 plus 400, and then round 3 plus 850, something like that.
I'm not mad at it. That's what I said. The KO, I get it. It looked, man. It is like, hey, sexy, look at me, come play me. But man, I just don't trust that shit. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. Ozzy, if you're able to jump back on the mic, I'm curious to know if you're taking any leech props on this one at all.
No, zero leech, mate. I know he's never been knocked out, right? So that's a tough spot to bet the KO against him. But I do think this is probably the first time he gets knocked out. So, yeah, I might looking for Prates late as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, what do we got up next here? Oh, it's Rozenstruik and Tafa, right? Or Rozenstruik and Tuivasa, right? Yeah, I know that's what it is. Let's see here. Odds board. Rozenstruik -227. Tuivasa +180. That's a 27 book average. The under 1.5 is -220. The over 1.5 is +160. I think this fight is lined perfectly. I'm not super duper excited to play Jairzinho. But I'm gonna play him in the 8-leg parlay or the 9-leg parlay most likely. He'll be one of the pole plays like him. It's gonna be him. Or Prates. I'm probably not going to play them both if I'm being honest. Or Prates. I know I might say it wrong, guys, but there's a lot of names. We all try to do our best. But it'll be one of the two in the long lay. Probably Rozenstruik. I know Tuivasa can fuck it all up real fast. But I just think Rozenstruik is at a better stride in his career. I think Tuivasa is on a bad swing, and I don't think he has a pedigree of skills that will help him to compensate for the power that he seems to be losing, the speed that he seems to be losing. Um, And man, I don't know. I only watched a little bit on it. I didn't look up Rozenstruik um, today. I was watching some shit on him the other day. He posted he was posting stuff on his social media page about his rankings and his accomplishments and how many main events he's done and all this shit. So I was looking him up and I was watching some of his recent shit the other day. And then I looked up Tuivasa today and man, there is seemingly. I wonder if Tuivasa has lost a little bit of his left eye on the left side, like the hook, man. Like it's almost like he can't fucking see it or something. Like, and I'm not being funny. It's like, bro, did you even see that? Like, did you see that fucking coming at your face? Um, so I really like Ty. He's a fucking fan favorite. He's one of my favorite guys in the UFC. And I know he really needs the W, but I'm gonna play against him. I probably said the same thing 6 times. Mike, what are you playing on this one?
Yeah, it's Rozenstruik all day. Look, uh, that performance against Derek Lewis is probably his height of going to be the height of his career. When you look at who he's fought, like his wins are not against top level guys. Again, besides Derek Lewis. And when it comes down to it, it really comes down to his defense. From what I can see, he has a few good weapons, which is the how he times his counter hooks and his leg kicks. And the leg kicks are really good. But that's about it. Rozenstruik is just a counter striker that is going to be faster, and he has just this uncanny. He's got this real knack for just finding the knockout shot, but it takes time for him to do that. So I think over time he'll eventually knock him out. The cumulative damage over the rounds is going to get to Tuivasa, and Tuivasa it's just gonna fold him because he's not going to be able to land anything. And meanwhile, he's just getting hit by this dude who can just knock him out at any point. And I think the best play is that over 1.5 at plus 170, I think, on Bet Online. I think that's a real good play because, again, counter striking. He doesn't really get to work early. He's not just going to go up there and just make it a brawl. He likes to find his shot, and Tuivasa's going to present enough danger to where he has to be cautious and pick his moments.
Agree, agree, agree. Um, yeah, agree on all of that twice. Usman.
Man, even when we agree, this motherfucker Mike pisses me off, man. Stealing my whole flow. Plus 175 over 1.5. I'm confused by the line. I think it is an easy hit. Everything Mike said that these guys might be a little tentative from the beginning, just trying to figure each other out. Rozenstruik's his counter punching, and then also I think we've seen Tuivasa in these last couple of fights, maybe not fully go for takedowns, but just initiate some sort of takedown threat just to press up against the fence and slow the fight down a little bit, maybe make it a little bit uglier. And I think that actually might help him out if he can crash some space, dive for the legs, come up, hold him up against the fence, and try to make it a little ugly. I think it helps us out on the over 1.5 for sure. I'm taking that over 1.5. I know Rozenstruik hits hard. I know he can find the finish. I'm kind of liking Rozenstruik by decision at plus 700, but that's just me.
So I got a feeling in a second Danny's going to come up here and just scorch fucking earth. We've been dogging all the Aussie fighters, and she's fucking thumbs downing and shit. And I think she's getting tired of hearing it. Yeah, I will say this, little off topic, but not really. Speaking of how the way Rozenstruik starts, if you think about the Francis Ngannou fight and the way he just fucking knocked him out, yeah, Francis is a big bad monster, and I mean he could knock anybody on earth out if he fucking can hit him. Um, but I think any heavyweight could run out there if they just started fucking swinging for the moon and overwhelm him under 1 minute. But if you let him start walking the cage and you let him start popping shots and you let him start finding range, he's good at catching you. And I would say I've taped Rozenstruik a couple times and we've talked about him um, in the spaces a few times. I don't know if I got this read from someone else and then picked it up or if it was mine originally. I'm just being honest. But Rozenstruik is a very good finisher. Um, Not just when he gets you hurt. You can see guys sometimes catch somebody's read. You can be like, oh, he's got his read. I do it all the time. Maybe I'm just one of them pricks or I'm some type of prick. But when I'm here and me and my two buddies are watching it and they'll do it too, you be like, oh, he's got his read. You can see it, right? If you see Rozenstruik catch his read, he's gonna knock him out. Like he's really good at finishing. I just think that I think that he is a slow starter, and I think he can be overwhelmed by just about anybody early. Uh, but I don't think Tuivasa does it. I don't think Tuivasa even runs out there and tries. I think he starts just as slow as Rozenstruik. Usman.
Yeah, I'll just push back a little bit on that. Anybody just coming steamrolling him in a minute because we know Gaziev is one of those fighters, but I constantly say that my favorite Rozenstruik highlight is him getting knocked out by Ngannou. Because if you look at that bitch in slow motion, he lands a four punch combo or a four strike combo going backwards, evading the bombs of Ngannou, and touches him on the temple, touches him on the chin, hits him with the leg kick, and the last one was going to be flush on the face before Ngannou landed the one that put him to sleep. Like I love that highlight for Rozenstruik because that is just some really good accuracy under a lot of pressure. But when a nuke hits, you're gonna get fried.
I will say this: Francis missed so much in slow motion, and Struff dropped so many, uh, and went backwards and bobbed so well. If he would have clipped Francis before Francis clipped him, that slow motion would still be played. It would still be fucking played. It was a great clip for him until he just fucking got flattened. But yeah, I agree with you. I've seen it and thought like, damn, bro, he was with it. Francis was on top of him, and he's like, oh, 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 sleep, motherfucker. Yeah, I don't think Tui does it to him, no, man. If anybody has a legit argument other than Tuivasa is going to throw a big overhand and fucking knock him out, give it to me. I know there's some kicks involved, but Danny, here we go. I've been waiting, and you scorch fucking earth. Don't take our bullshit. Go ahead.
I would never do that. Absolutely never. Look, I can appreciate everything you're all saying. I think the difference for me this time around, and Aussie's laughing, is what I said on our live yesterday. Ty's mindset is probably the big differentiating factor in my mind. So he's been back out. He's training with Gokhan Saki. So he's not been in Australia. He's not smoking. He's not drinking. He's not hitting the pokies. He's dropped a bit of weight. He's gone and cut his hair as well. And if you look through those last couple of fights, which we know he shouldn't have taken all of them on short notice, he has kind of come out and said that he was in a really, really bad headspace. So for me, he's taking shit a lot more seriously. He'll appreciate what this means. I mean, whether he gets cut or not, probably not, because he's a fan favourite, draws crowd. I think that's the big factor people are underestimating on Ty this time around. He is going at this very similar to how he approached the Garn fight, and he had a lot of success early on. Yeah, he got pieced up. All those body kicks absolutely crippled him. But yeah, I think leg kick absolutely he's going to get that. But if he's going to be dialed in, you're going to get a good sharp Ty. So I just wanted to call that bit out. I think people are sleeping on him. I'm going Ty under Shuey on the cage. Let's go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Also, welcome to the mic. I usually try to say that when people first get on it in space. Missed it. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
So, I bet I know what she's taking in this next fight too. But we'll wait and see if she gives a take. Up next, Dan Hooker and Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz Gamrot, minus 345 on Mateusz, plus 259 for Dan Hooker. 28 books reporting that. 13 days old. Man, Gamrot seems like a pretty easy play to me. I will say this, however, because I'm going to play Gamrot in that long leg. I'm going to do it. Dan Hooker is clearly making big changes in his life. Clearly in the way he trains, the way he treats his body. And he's always been in good shape. But Dan Hooker's pretty fucking jacked now. I won't be completely surprised if Dan Hooker is the parlay buster for me this week. Yeah, I just won't be at all, but I'm taking Gamrot. Usman, what are you playing here?
Go to Mike.
Over to Mike.
Hey man, I was just listening to when Usman was talking about that Jairzinho highlight. I had to go watch it because I don't remember all that. That's pretty slick, Jairzinho. But yeah, man, Gamrot all day. He's a top five lightweight. I don't think the wrestling is gonna be. I think the wrestling is just gonna be too much for Dan Hooker, and the speed he goes about his takedown entries. That's gonna be a big thing. And the fact that he does attack the legs. So his balance is gonna be challenged immediately. And I don't think Hooker has the speed or the reflexes to deal with Gamrot. So this is Gamrot pretty easy in my eyes. I would not be surprised if he submitted him.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that shit at all. I'm not playing that submission, but I'm not mad at that play at all. Usman, what are you playing?
Now, y'all know if I call one fighter the GOAT, y'all know it's Mateusz Gamrot. And that's the only fighter that I call the GOAT. Yeah, I just think I think Gamrot's striking is also overlooked just because of the heavy grappling that he does. But I think Hooker with those long ass levers that he calls arms will be able to stop one. He'll be able to stop maybe two. But the way that Gamrot shoots and wrestles and chain wrestles, I think it will be too much. I don't know about him finishing him. I love Gamrot to death, but I'm not going to say that he is a prolific finisher. And that's probably why they keep on putting him to the test instead of giving him the shot that he deserves. But I like Gamrot by decision. I like him to just if this might be a same game parlay right here, where you take Gamrot by decision, Gamrot most takedowns, and then maybe even Gamrot most strikes, because he does good with kicking to the body, kicking to the legs. You know, he's got a hell of a chin and a gas tank. He recovers well. Everything about Gamrot, I love. Gamrot, Gamrot, Gamrot.
Fair enough. I figure that's probably mostly the consensus. But I don't know, man. Dan Hooker hits hard as hell if he can hit you, I guess. I don't know, man. I just don't feel like this card is as stacked for the locals as you would expect. Does that make sense? Like, it's a fucking Perth card. And I'm not going into this thing like, oh, yeah, this one Australian fighter is going to murder it. Where's Jack Jenkins from? Anybody know where Jack Jenkins is from?
Off the top of my head.
That side of the world.
It's a very, very far place, Perth. They're in the middle of nowhere. I think it's Brisbane.
Brisbane, huh? Man. I don't know. All right, so I'm like on Jack Jenkins, but I don't know. I just feel like we
I mean, dudes like Song Kenan, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, doesn't Australia have a high Asian demographic as well?
Yeah, we definitely do. Yes.
Yeah, so he got him, Josh Culibao. The Leech is probably
the
going to hit a little
Leech.
bit of a demographic as well, but I get what you're saying.
No, that's a great call, bro. I didn't even think of that over there. And Danny backed you up right away. Um, yeah, okay. Things make more sense now that the card just has a lot more people that will be favored. You know, they got a lot of names that'll be favored in the stadium, and sometimes that's good enough. All right. What's up next here? Ooh, co-main event: Kai Kara France and Steve Erceg. I'm really on Steve Erceg here. I'm going to throw that out here while I look for these odds. Erceg is minus 169, plus 136 for Kai Kara France. 27 books, 12 days. The over 2.5 is minus one or minus 295. Not a bad look. Not a bad look at all. I know that you're probably like, holy shit, minus 295. Not a bad fucking play in a parlay. Under gets you plus 205, but I think Steve Erceg wins everywhere here. I'm not a Kai Kara France fan, though. I'm kind of a hater, to be honest. I've never liked him. I've never liked his style. I've never enjoyed watching him fight. Um, and he's a fighter that I'm always looking to fade, to be fair. But I still think I'm right, and I still think that it's Steve Erceg here, and he is 100% going in the parlay. Um, Not even a question. I wonder if anybody will be able to tell me what Steve Erceg inside the distance looks like, KO and um, submission, what that's going to look like in the books, because um, I might fuck around and see if I can figure it out. Mike, what are you playing on this one?
I actually have Erceg parlayed with Gamrot. I think those are two of the best fights. Well, two of the best picks of the whole card. And you're right. Erceg has Kai Kara France covered everywhere. Although I will say his Carlos France, his defensive grappling is good, mainly because he's so good at fighting hands. But as far as striking goes, Erceg, as long as he doesn't extend the exchanges between them too long, just get in, get out, keep it maybe 2 or 3 match, and then just get out, because Carl France is really good at his right hand, and it's not just like it's just powerful. It's time. The timing of that right hand is really good, and Erceg has a tendency to leave his chin in the air whenever he's extending his combos. So I would just say, as long as he keeps it at range, keeps keeps the combos to a minimum, he can just outstrike him for the whole round and then mix in the grappling just to keep him guessing. But skill for skill, Erceg's got him covered wherever this fight goes.
Yeah, I don't see advantages for him anywhere. Erceg seemed like a real safe play. I was really surprised at the line on this one, to be honest. I definitely thought Erceg would be a little deeper. I thought he'd be around the 250 area.
I think he
I
was.
think
Money's been coming in on it has to be coming in on Kai Kara France because I got him at like minus 225. Let me check real quick. I got it up right here.
no,
Steve,
you're
yeah,
right because every
225.
every sports book on the fucking book is showing a green arrow next to Erceg's line. That means that money's coming in the other way. Um, damn. I wonder what he'll be go off at fight time. Like, I wonder if you hold out long enough. I wonder how fucking low he'll get. Usman, what are you playing here?
So it's a little scary, man, because between Joe, Mike, and we are lined up all over this fucking card. I too am a Kai Kara France hater. Some would say the biggest Kai Kara France hater. But just to put all that aside, I feel like Kai Kara France he's a good striker, but a lot of his strikes come from distance strikes. The one, two. He can mix it up with some shorter distance strikes as well, but he hits that leg kick. He hits the body with the kick. I just think that Erceg is going to be able to catch some reads, get inside of space, and land some slicker boxing. I like the over 2.5. I'm not driving. I'm not looking at any lines right now. But I think that it goes the distance. With all the time that Kai Kara France has taken off, that chin better be it better be refreshed and hit that 2.5 for me. But I like Steve Erceg by decision and over.
Very nice. Very nice. That rolls us to the main event of the night. Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. A couple cliff notes. These two going back on social media pretty well. Dracus's coach is using a taser in practice to keep him in line. That's all a gimmick. I'm sure it's just a fucking gimmick, but it's fun. It's funny to see. Wonder Bread MMA posted some footage of DDP pounding what appears to be a beer about what he says is a week out from the fight. I didn't see the footage and I didn't see the same footage on any other phone from anywhere, so it's hard to date it or it's just not much you can see. Of course, they're going back and forth about who's the real African. Izzy said people like Abdul Razak Hassan and myself were forced to flee our country because of better opportunity. Dracus will never understand that because he lives behind fucking gates in his privileged life in South Africa. Um, Really weird because we've heard Izzy talk about his housemates as a child growing up that brushed his teeth and bathed him until he was like 9 years old and found out that you're supposed to bathe yourself, so he didn't let the housemaids do it anymore. Um, Really weird that he would talk about someone else being privileged, in my opinion. It's my only real take on it. They can fucking fight about who's the real African or who's not until they're fucking blue in the face. I'm from the old USA, so I don't give a shit. I thought Izzy was from Australia, and I got footage of him saying he's from Australia. I also thought he was from China, and there's video of him saying he's from China. There's video of him saying, I'm Chinese. I am Chinese. I am Black Dragon. Like, it's there, man. There's video of him saying, I'm going to retire in China. Like there's all types of shit. Like the dude is in love with China, and I didn't even know he wasn't from Australia until like 5 fucking fights into his UFC career. When he's like, I'm from Africa, I'm like, bitch, quit lying. We know you are from Australia. He's from Africa. Who fucking knew? Right? Um, Whatever though. I don't care about any of them that I'm just having fun with it. I don't care what them guys argue with about that. But I just thought I'd stir it up a little bit for fun. I'm on DDP here. I know everybody says he's upgraded. Everybody says he's this and everybody says he's that. And he posted a picture looking a little more jacked. He's still got to weigh in at 185. I think Dricus has a ton of pressure. I don't think it looks just like the Strickland fight at all, or I shouldn't say at all. I think he mimics the pressure and then confuses Izzy. Yeah, I like DDP here. This actually won't be on my parlay if I'm being honest. DDP is at minus 104. Izzy's at minus 119. The over is set at 4.5, minus 107 to go over, minus 124 to go under. You can get a little bit better odds than that. You can get it looks like Low Vig's given plus 115 on the over. I do think the fight goes over. If I was gonna bet this fight, though, I would bet Dricus du Plessis by knockout, um, and I still might. I think that if there's a finish, Dricus knocks him out. Yeah, I don't have a huge problem with Izzy other than I just like to troll his ass for all the wish-washy that he's done with his career. But I'm on DDP. Mike, I know you've done some tape study on this. Tell me why I should bet DDP.
Yeah, I really spent like a good amount of time on these two because I feel like I keep overlooking DDP because he keeps costing me money. And look, I like DDP. Like I'm a fan. Once I studied, once I was studying him for Sean Strickland, I realized like this dude is serious. He's a real good. He's a real dog in the fight, even when like things are going bad for him. But the problem is that things do go bad for him for a reason, and it's just his striking is just not on the level of Izzy. Now the grappling, I get like people say it's gonna like he has the grappling advantage, and I agree. If he's able to get him down, then it might be bad for him. But just from what I've seen on Izzy's part, his grappling defense is not that bad. It's actually really good. His reflexes are really good. Even when he gets taken down, he is very urgent in getting up and not doing it recklessly to get himself his back taken or get submitted. And when it comes to the feet, man, just everything Izzy does is so good. The range that they both fight at favors Izzy. And Dricus, like, he doesn't really close the distance well. It's very just like, I'm gonna make you feel my power and I'm gonna just rush in a beeline. And when he does that, Izzy's gonna be able to pick him apart. Izzy's fast, he is accurate, and he is constantly using feints to set up his attacks. So I think the speed advantage goes to Izzy, the accuracy, just the skill level, everything in my eyes, it just favors Izzy so much. And I think that the dog in DDP is the whole having to dig deep down and bring that dog out is gonna catch up to him, and it's gonna happen this Saturday.
Man, oh man, shitting on my picks over here. Nah, I'm fucking with you. Uh, I mean, great read. You're always on top of it. I'm still not gonna bet it, but gonna look at the DDP fucking knockout. Usman, what are you playing?
Finally, we get a little bit of controversy here. Um, Dude, I'm sad that DDP isn't at plus money right now. He's at minus 105. I'm hoping a little bit more money comes in on Izzy so that I can at least get some plus odds. I honestly think this is DDP all fucking day. I been saying for a while now, like just because it's goofy, people underestimate the striking and the smart striking of Dricus Duplessis. The feinting on the leg kicks, he picks up that leg. It looks stupid. But so did Sean Strickland's defense look stupid. I called it the sissy girls defense because he would pick up his little leg and then he would cover up with his hands and his arms. There are memes of him looking like damn iCarly. Like the fainting isn't that much of an issue anymore when you know what's coming next. First of all, second of all, Izzy's biggest issue has always been and always will be the leaning back. He's got a beautiful, great tall man defense, but you can read it. The game planning of Dricus Duplessis' team, we got to see it in real time against Robert Whitaker. And now they're talking about how they planned that perfectly to go against him in southpaw, throw out the jab and lead the jab. And if you look at the Robert Whitaker fight, it's exactly at like 2 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first round. He hits him with that jab and he's got it. He goes, "Yep, this is that punch that we were looking for, and we planned it perfectly, and here it is." When you look at the Sean Strickland fight, a lot of stupid pressure with a lot of ugly punching throughout the whole first round. Can't touch him. The overhand right is barely missing. What do? They go back into the second round and decide we're throwing the punches to the body now. We're hitting him in the body. It's going to open up the head, and it does that perfectly against Sean Strickland. And I think that he won that fight 3-2 pretty easily. Um, it's the same thing with Izzy. I said it before. Izzy and Sean Strickland are two different sides of the same coin, and the fact that Izzy is going to back up, Izzy will have better footwork along the cage. Dricus is gonna have to track him down a little more, but Izzy's gonna back up. He's gonna lean back. The stupid kicks that Dricus throws at the end and the middle of punch combos, you don't see them coming. The kicks are going to be there to hit the body. The punches are going to be there to hit the body, and that'll eventually open up the head, just like when Sean Strickland did it to Izzy. I don't know if we see a finish here. I just think it's all day Dricus Duplessis. I think he has a very high chance on striking alone, mixing in the grappling. I think he can take this fight pretty handedly. Since this was announced, I've looked at this a bunch of times, and I just keep coming away with Dricus is winning this fight.
I forgot about the kicks. Yeah, that was the only one thing that worried me is that Dricus has a really fast left high kick. That kick you don't see coming at all. But I don't know. I think it's just the range that they both fight at. I think it just favors Izzy.
So the only counter that I'm afraid of from Izzy, and I don't think that we've seen it a lot. I think it's the left uppercut. If you look at Dricus's head habits, he dips to that one side. He dips to his right side when he's throwing, and that kind of makes it hard to hit him. Like it's easy to hit him, but like it doesn't hit him as clean as you would like to because he's dipping his head in such a stupid movement. I think if Izzy can time a good front kick or a front head kick that's supposed to go to the body while he's dipping down, or a nice left uppercut, it's going to be big trouble if he can find it. You know what I mean? But for hooks, I think a lot of people are talking about like, oh, when Dricus does his stupid blitz, Izzy's going to catch him with a beautiful counter. Like, go back. Dricus dumb. He stupidly picks up his hands and blocks his face. He kind of takes a lot of the edge off of a lot of punches.
That's
I
not
think
when
it's
he
not.
charges forward though.
What do you mean?
When he that high guard he does when he's blitzing and trying to attack, he's not. That's not really when he throws the high guard. The high guard is is when he expects an attack and then he's looking to counter.
True, true. I just think that pressure is going to have Izzy thinking. And like I said, that you're talking about the head kick that he throws. I'm talking about the body kick that he throws. And he'll throw it in the middle of combinations while he's blitzing forward. He just does everything so wrong, yet so right. When he kicks to the body, to the legs, it's completely off balance, but with a hell of a lot of power. Like for strikers like Strickland and Izzy, I think his stupid style is just damn near perfect, and it seems like the game planning they do a good job of it.
Man, heated debates. I'm curious to see who cashes on that one. Find a mutual play, man. We've been playing the card. We've been on the same shit the whole card. Play the split on this motherfucker, man. What's the split decision on this one, Usman?
Looking it up right now. Give me a second. And honestly, I do think the split decision is a very, very good play. Come on, bitch, load. Fight goes to split decision. Come on, man. This isn't even good. Plus 300.
That's it.
That's it. We're
That's
only getting
crazy.
plus
That's it.
300. What do the books know that they're not telling us, man?
That's it. So they got two judges paid already. You going this way, motherfucker. You going this way. I'm joking, but bro, plus 300 for a 5-round title fight to go to split decision.
You could pick a side and do Plessis by split, or majority is 7+7. Izzy is +6.
Yeah, but if you bet them both, then you still only get plus 325, right? So, man, DDP split, yeah. But still, I'm just saying, bro, I can't. That line is cooked. The books are already fucking telling you split decision is the fucking play. Bro, what? I don't think I've ever seen it lower than 250 ever. And that's like on a 3-round fight. What's the lowest you've seen the fucking fight goes to split, Usman?
I mean, you
Just
see it on women fights at 250 is the lowest I've ever seen it. But this is a hard hitting, heavy man that I mean, like I can talk all the shit I want about Izzy. Izzy has knockouts. Dricus is a finishing machine. This makes absolutely no sense. Go look around. Everybody's on Izzy. For everybody to be on Izzy and the split being 300 is stupid.
yeah, that's a really weird line to me, man. Like, I don't know. It's not some conspiracy. I guess there's not a whole lot to dissect. Like, man, that just seems like the fucking play right there. And they're not giving you shit on it.
And look, before the tape study, I was actually on DDP. I thought this was his time.
All right. So, when you switch your pick, how often do you hit?
It's usually 50, like 50-50. It's like a line
So,
flip.
I have a sincere rule that I've been honest about for a while. If I'm on one side enough that I'm like, yep, I'm betting it, and then I flip, I skip the whole shit, bro. I bet you I fade myself at a 0% rate. Like, man, Usman, when I was betting a little heavier, Usman will tell you, I'd be in here throwing a fucking fit, man. Um, Yeah, sometimes, anyways. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on about it. That's the whole card. I don't see any hands up. UFC 305. If anybody missed it and wants to catch it, we'll be closing this out in about 25 minutes. You can go back, fast forward to an hour and 18 minutes in, and catch our whole card breakdown. Thank you to my co-hosts for that, Mike and Usman. Thank you, Dead Picks, for keeping us up online over on YouTube, which hopefully will be much more main source of our stream pretty soon. I do have a couple of quick topics. It's been pinned up top a few times. Dana White says Conor McGregor will not fight in 2024. What a fucking surprise. Oh my God. Bro, Mike Chandler fucked his whole career up chasing some fantasy fight that nobody even cares about. I did a mockery video and posted it somewhere on our Twitter or on our YouTube or some shit. And Michael Chandler started saying Conor McGregor's name, I think in 2014 or 16. Like way back before Michael Chandler had any real steam. And he's called him out like 50 fucking times or something. Like, I think he thinks it's going to be a Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, epic fucking biggest thing in MMA ever fight. And I know Conor's still a really big deal and everything, but I don't think it's anything like that. I think Mike maybe has a misconception. And I know everybody talks payday this, payday that. Listen, I promise you this. He could have went and fought twice and made what he's making to fight Conor. Cowboy Cerrone was super excited about his huge pay bump when he fought Conor. They bumped him from $250,000 to $500,000. His win bonus would have been another $500,000. He had the potential to make $1 million. It's not like they're giving Michael Chandler, I think his salary, I think we heard that it was at like $600,000 or something. They're not giving him $3 million to fight Conor McGregor. That's not reality in my opinion. So he could have and should have been fighting. I don't know whose hand went up first. I think it was Usman though, so I'm gonna go to Usman.
Man, it's so sad that he was calling out Connor over there in Bellator. But at least if the fight ever does happen, he can be like Izzy and say, I manifested this. I manifested this one. Uh, what the fuck are we waiting for, man? This shit ain't gonna happen.
I don't think Conor McGregor fights MMA, man. I'm telling you guys. He just wants to bare knuckle box. That's it. That's all he wants to do. It's fucking plain as day. Mike, get after it, bud.
No, I was gonna say after Dana White said that, Connor actually did go on Twitter and say that he wants to fight in December.
Okay, well, sure. Um,
You know what my dad used to say? He used to tell me, well, son, people in hell want ice water. And
yeah,
now,
I swear to God, bro. I say it to my kids. I say it to my kids. People in hell want ice water. What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
look at us passing it down. I tell my kids that. Oh shit, I'm supposed to get them snacks.
Yeah, Danny, I seen your hand went up. What did you want to say? Something?
No, that might have been an accident. Sorry, guys.
No worries. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I was looking at, whatever. The heads move around and shit, and the hands are up. Whatever. All right. So I want to take us down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I hope everybody sticks with me. It's not going to be hours or nothing. But I really think the UFC is going to see some financial trouble soon. I really believe the MMA bubble has actually already popped. And I think we are on the way down. So we all know that years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, I guess 10 years ago now, Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey were really, really, really gaining momentum. I don't know. I don't know why they are the two people that took off the way they did for the UFC. Ronda, I understand. I understand what she brought. I understand what she represented. I understand Ronda. Conor, he just happened to be the coolest, funniest guy around when Ronda Rousey started shrieking, in my opinion. And he gained more momentum than she had. Whatever, that's fine. But I think we all know that we've seen the better days of that era and the stars and everything that will go with the 2016-18 era pass. But I'm not talking about just that passing. I'm not talking about because Conor McGregor is gone. I'm going to run through a list of some things here that I think when I'm done talking about it, you guys are going to go, man, I can't believe that reporters with more credentials, I guess is the word I will use, aren't really talking about this, despite how much hate there is for the UFC out there by all these media guys. So I'm going to start with I'm spinning through. I had them all in order, but I'm just making sure I got everything. All right, so we're going to go it that way. All right, so ESPN is due for another price hike in October. They're going to go from $11.99 or $10.99 to $11.99. Not a huge deal. But I wanted to draw back 10 years when I seen that. The TKO president, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, even though I should be able to, which is what I was kind of scrolling for there. He says that he believes that ESPN is too aggressive with the pricing of the UFC product, and that they had a talk with them about it, and that is why ESPN started that. If you buy the pay-per-view early, they give it to you for like $10 off, right? Okay, so it was Damon Martin at Damon Martin posted TKO Holdings Group President Mark Shapiro believes ESPN raised prices on the UFC too much too fast, which led to more piracy of events. That led to a conversation with ESPN where they were receptive to the feedback about the pay-per-view pricing. So we have that. Okay. Fan to fan, in order to be a UFC fan and see everything they had in 2014, you had to have access to cable TV, which actually wasn't cheap, but most people did, at least stateside back then. And this is stateside. I don't know what you needed to have access to it back then in some other regions, because I know it wasn't available. But here, and you could see, if you had access to cable TV, you could see every UFC event, all of them added up, and it was $660 a year in pay-per-views. And then whatever you had to do to get your cable TV or your Fox Sports. In 2025, it will be $1,266 for subscriptions to get you straight to the UFC and see all of their product. Like, yeah, you may use ESPN in the States for other stuff. I know that there's some other packages in other regions, and you may use those packages for other things. But if you're just an MMA fan like me, it's $1,266 to sit on your fucking couch and watch the UFC next year. And that's if they don't raise the price of pay-per-views, which I have been predicting that they were going to do. Maybe they're not, with the news from Shapiro giving his advice or stepping in or whatever you want to say. But they have seen a problem with where the price is right now. So they know they've hit that price balloon. The UFC is going to continue to be aggressive with what they want and what they expect from a TV deal. Low Kick MMA at low kick _ MMA reported the UFC's revenue jumped 394 million, helps TKO Holding Group's second quarter UFC 300 WrestleMania 40 exceed expectations, which was a link to and then that was a link to an article on their website. It was a pretty lengthy article. It's worth a read. It says that John Nash got all of that information. I just want to credit it. So the UFC is chasing these record profits because they are in a position where they need to deliver. They have record investments. These TV deals were worth hundreds of millions of dollars. People are expecting returns. So they have to try to maintain this pricing bubble. That's why we're seeing record gates everywhere. Record gates everywhere means they are charging more money than they ever have to get in the building and see the product. We've been talking about this for a while. So when does that start to report back? Well, I won't go on a rant, but a guy like me, I'm a pretty hardcore fan. I go to fight week. I go to fight cards. I fly. I don't give a fuck what it costs when I go. I go. They announced that 300 would be a record gate, and we were still, fuck it, we're going to go. Conor McGregor was supposed to be the main event, and we were very turned off. And the reason we didn't go is because you used to be able to VIP to the event for $400. Then it was $650 to VIP to the meet and greets and meet all the fighters, right? And you would think that there would be a limit, but they didn't put a limit on it. So if you had VIP and you wanted to meet Bobby Green, let's call him a B list, right? And you didn't get in the VIP line fast enough, you would have waited 2.5 hours to not even fucking meet Bobby Green after you paid $650 to be a VIP. And fans experienced this. So then the next year, which was this year, they did not limit the amount, but they raised the price to $1,000 per VIP ticket to meet and greet. The UFC has always built their model on availability to the fans. They used social media. They have taught their fighters be available, be there. They've made them pretty inaccessible, even at International Fight Week. And now we're starting to see, I think it's Kenneth, but it's Kunath at Kenneth MMA. He got a huge response. He got a following, but he's not no tens of thousands of followers. But what is happening to the UFC, to the community? Feels like a bunch of diehards are falling out of love with the sport. Feels a bit disingenuous, but interested to see how y'all are thinking. And he got a really big response on it. And people are really mad at all these cards that we begged for. We begged for more UFC. We begged for it. We fucking begged for it. And people are fighting back. And I think that the reason people are fighting back is because it is so fucking expensive to be a fan. When you're looking at what you spend and what you pay to be a UFC fan, if you pay for it all, and then you look at the Spivak type era 2 card, you kind of feel like it is a bit of a fuck you. I'm going to skip down and say that UFC pricing, biggest gates ever. Well, the cheapest tickets for UFC 306 were $3,000, and they have dropped to $1,400. And I'll bet you if people hold out, they'll get them for $1,100, maybe even $800, because people just it's showing that people are not willing to pay this, not even for Noche. They're just not willing to pay it. Then let's add that to fighters like Walking Buckley going on to the Prairie Punch Perry Punch News cutting videos saying that the whole sport is retarded. That's the word he used. The whole sport is retarded. Alex Pereira can come in and make what he said is Alex Pereira can come in and make coming in and having the success he has makes the whole sport look retarded, being a 2-division champion with just 10 professional fights. So he's kind of dogging it out. All of us hardcores, we talk about it every week. We're tired of heavyweight. We're tired of the low-level women's fights. We're tired of all the fucking overs. So the product is saturated. We're starting to see community feedback. The antitrust got kicked back. I'm not going to go jump down that rabbit hole, but the UFC is going to have to pay for that. $335 million isn't enough. They're going to be near $1 billion. If they don't get near $1 billion in a settlement, that fucking judge is going to send it to trial, and they're probably going to lose $1.6 billion, and they're going to be government regulated after that, which, man, that sincerely can be the fucking crumble. That could be the end of what we know. So, okay, all that looms in the realm. On top of that, over the past several years, the UFC has, due to Conor McGregor, they have created an environment where champ status is what solidifies you now. Being a champion isn't enough anymore. Being a champion and holding the belt and dominating the division, it's not enough anymore. You got to be a champ. That is why I believe that you're losing the fan base. You hear all the time that people say there's no stars anymore. They don't have the star power. They put anybody on cards. When you finally get a star, he's got to go up. You basically got to push him until he loses in another division. They're not taking times to build stars. They're not taking time to build guys at the top. They seem to be building them to the top, and then when they get to the top, not really holding them there. On top of that, the UFC has spent the last 4 or 5 years kind of cashing themselves out with low return sponsorships. So for fans, it's for fans. So it used to be flagship. We had the beer sponsor. You had whichever clothing brand they were with. You had some high-end sponsors that came in. Monster, they stood behind the UFC, and that was the brand, right? Over the past 4 or 5 years, they're trying to fill these $1 billion, $16 billion, 20 to whatever the fuck their $1 billion goal is now. They're trying to fill it. So they're willing to advertise with people that are willing to pay. Remember Conor McGregor and Proper 12? So people don't really view it this way, but that was kind of a scam. Conor McGregor knew that he was cashing out on his fans in order to sell that company. He knew what he was going to do ahead of time. Okay, you're a big star. Maybe you earned it. You got fans that want to get this whiskey. I never heard anybody actually say it was good. I never heard anybody praise it. So you pumped a shit product in the name of being a premium product to your fans, and they called you out. Follow that up, it became a trend. Hollerhead, same thing. Dana White cashing out millions and millions of dollars on a product that doesn't gain steam because even though it's gimmicky, they got a banana flavor in this other shit. It's just not killing it. And I'm sure he's making millions of dollars on it, but it's not fucking Fireball. It's not something that people recognize and everybody's like long term on board with. The UFC, had a relationship with Under Armour, but then they extend that to the Project Rock, which is The Rock taking Under Armour product, marking it up with his logo on it, never even doing a fucking appearance to sell it, while the UFC pumps it at their fan expos, International Fight Week, in the stores, in the events. It's fucking everywhere. Dwayne Johnson cashing the fuck out, and fans get it. When you look at the product, Dwayne's products don't feel any different than the Under Armour product. They don't. You don't feel like you're getting a value. You feel like you're paying to have The Rock's name on it. Okay, push some of that aside. You guys remember Crypto.com? Whole bunch of fans jumped on Crypto.com, spent all kinds of money on these fucking NFTs. They were going to be worth money. And then Crypto.com was like, oh yeah, they're worth $800 each. Well, they're only worth $800 each if someone will fucking pay that for them. So, whole bunch of fans ran out, spent their money. Some spent thousands. They now have pennies. Pennies on the dollar for what they spent. Remember Dapper Labs? Oh, you guys probably don't know who Dapper Labs is. They're an NFT company that has had more than one class action lawsuit filed against them. And they have even settled for unregistered securities. Dapper Labs is UFC NFT Strike. Same thing. They're selling all these packs, buy them for $50, $100, $80. These cards are going to be worth a fortune. They're only worth what people will pay for them. So as soon as they hit the marketplace, they're like, your Robert Whitaker card's worth $1,500. Same Robert Whitaker card just sold on the marketplace for $6 because there's no sustainable value there. So the UFC cashed out on customers or allowed an advertiser to cash out on customers. Again, this is no different than fighters pulling crypto schemes. And the UFC is repeatedly doing this. Prime Energy Drink currently being sued for $68 million for flaking on a manufacturing deal. Why? Because they didn't fill their bottling agreement. Why? Because the product doesn't sell. Why? Because it's not a long-term investment by a beverage company. It's a celebrity and his celebrity buddy saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sell water like 50 Cent did, and we're going to make tens of millions of fucking dollars. But it's not real. It's not sustainable. The reports that come in on the product say that some of the fucking flavors have shit in it that give you cancer. Other ones say that they have problems that give you fucking migraine headaches. I have 5 kids, so I've read about it. These are the people that the UFC is choosing to shove down their customers' throats. Then Bud Light. Bud Light pisses off their own customer base. Their own customer identification is plummeting through the floor. They pay UFC a fat stack of cash. Dana White says, we morally align with these guys. You might not realize it does hurt them. People did have feelings about Bud Light, and they do associate that with the UFC. The UFC is slowly alienating themselves from their fans by pumping shit products to them, by charging them top dollar for these products. And in the back end, there's lawsuits everywhere. And I will say, as a note for all these advertisers, there are so many advertisers on the canvas now, on the cage. I can't even tell you if Monster is there anymore. And I'm not being funny. I cannot even fucking tell you if Monster is on the canvas anymore because I don't look, because I don't care. I do know, though, if you want to give the UFC $1,000, they'll write your name on the canvas for you. And then they'll mail you a 4-inch piece of fucking canvas with your name wrote on it that was part of a fight. And they're trying to sell hundreds of these at every card. So you got to remember, when you see all those names going around the octagon at UFC 204 on that ring, count them. If you see 200 of them there, that's 200,000 fucking dollars they charged fans to put their name on a little fucking border in the octagon. Um, the UFC sincerely has created a price bubble that I no longer believe that MMA fans will sustain. Um, Streaming numbers are going up. I have to believe merch sales are going down. Um, the only thing they seem to really be getting right is the video game. And let's be honest, EA Sports has taken all that fucking money. We already know how that goes. You can be the UFC all you fucking want. EA Sports rapes everybody. Um, so that's my rant. That's my 20-minute deal. Anybody who heard it all the way through, I don't know, Usman, you think I'm fucking crazy? You think I go down the rabbit hole too far?
Yeah, I think you're fucking crazy. We talked about this about 2 years ago with the challenge. Shout out our challenge chat. The complainers, the crybabies are always going to be the loudest ones that you hear when it comes to the fan base. I think people like Moicano and Buckley think that it's cool and that they're going to build a fan base because they have a lot of the same opinions of the louder negative people that get heard. Because Moicano has said the same thing about how the UFC sucks so much and how the talent is so garbage. And yeah, I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. And like I said, it's always going to be the complainers that are going to be the loudest. There's that old saying for a reason: squeaky wheel gets the oil. Um, as for all the extra shit, I don't like. Look, when it comes to the advertising, when it comes to all that extra bullshit, I'm not lying when I say I've watched fighting since I was a damn near child. My grandma used to own a store. She had a little video spot where you could rent VHSs, and my dad used to. It was my great grandma, and my dad used to get her to order the UFC VHS tapes so that he could steal them. And then he kept them. And I had a VHS collection of like 500 fucking cassettes or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, like I don't care. I don't care. A lot of this extra bullshit that people talk about. Oh man, husband and wife in the corner. Oh, father and dad in the corner. Like I wasn't able to make the space when we did a big discussion about the very first time about the XY chromosome Aman Khalifi thing. I was gonna make a joke. Hey, I don't give a damn. You're a dumbass that wants to get into a fight with a man. I don't want to watch it, but you're the one that got into the ring. I don't care about any of this extra shit. I want to see fights. I want to see good fights. I want to see bad fights. I want to see people fucking get their ass whooped. I want
So
to.
let me ask you a question. Do you pay for the pay-per-views?
And that's another thing that I was going to eventually bring up. No, and nobody does. And everybody that sits here and complains about it, I understand you do. But all the noise, everybody that complains about pay-per-view prices, that complains, I pay for ESPN Plus. Nobody pays for for the pay-per-views, and that's why ticket prices go up. Of course, there's other external factors as well. But Dana just admitted right then and there the pay-per-views got hiked up so bad that it made piracy go even higher. And remember back in the day, fucking 4 years ago, when he was gonna get fucking
We got
streamers,
one.
he
We got one
it
right
never
now. We got one.
it never happened. It never was going to happen. There's no way to stop it. And that's the reason why we've got fucking so many ads on there. That's why we got so much fucking high prices for to sit in the damn arena. It's because they're not making money through other venue or like factors. Sure, they're making
But
some.
don't you feel like that's because pay-per-views are not 50 fucking dollars anymore and tickets aren't $100 to get in anymore? Don't you feel like if they just lowered the price back down, people might be more apt to buy the product?
No, not anymore. I think it's gone down too much of a slippery slope where if they lower down the prices, they're still going to be selling out every single time. But you're not gonna get me to you're not gonna get me to start buying pay-per-views because it's
Can't get you to
$20.
go back, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't go back. You can't go
That's
back,
fair.
and that's why everything has been raised up so much because they just can't make. And then the whole pay-per-view star shit. Oh, we don't have any stars anymore. Dude, shut the not you, but like people, shut the fuck up. Like people want to raise up Sean O'Malley and talk about how he's such a star, internet star. Fucking Alex Pereira has got the world on his fucking fingertip, and he's got us all in a chokehold to the point to where everybody on the internet is defending him against a rape allegation, and fucking people are still wanting to complain about there being no stars. Like, are we going to have a Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey or Brock Lesnar? No. No. Anderson Silva went on a fucking like 16 fight win streak and he wasn't a Chuck Liddell. Like,
Yeah, listen, I'm with you there. And I understand that the truth is that the UFC selling 1 million pay-per-views every month is never been realistic. Dana White, I don't know. I think, the bigger the fan base is, one day it might be 9 million pay-per-views, but that might not be a big deal. Dana White's out of his fucking mind. It's going to be site fees. It's going to be site fees from the people who pay you to bring your show, just like an old school circus or carnival. You're going to get paid to bring your show into town, and then you're going to get paid for some pay-per-views, but you're probably not. You're probably going to get a fucking TV deal where you're just part of a sports package, and you're going to move your circus town to town. Yeah, I think that we're going to see some downsizing of the UFC, and I think that people are going to start predicting over the next few in trouble. I don't think it'll be trouble. I just think that the bubble's got to burst at some point, and I feel like we're watching it, man. I feel like we're watching it. Um, yeah, I'm pretty. I've got myself pretty fucking convinced. I'll say it that way, anyways.
I don't know, man. I think because we're the premier, we, because the UFC is the premier league in all of MMA, it's very hard for the bubble to pop in such a catastrophic way. Like, is anybody getting excited because the Oakland A's are selling tickets for $16? No, just people don't give a fuck. Is anybody gonna go to the damn? I mean, I'll go to the PFL if they fucking let me in for fucking 50 to $25. But you know the comparison I'm trying to make? Like,
I get it, and I think the UFC's got a lot of that too. I think that Tiberius Spivak card. Um, yeah, I mean, like, fuck. There's a lot of them. The Apex is needed. They want top dollar for everything, but the Apex is needed because cards fucking suck.
look, let me ask you this. Do you remember in 2015, 2014, when they were taking cards to fucking, I can't even make up a name because I don't fucking know any place in Sweden, but fucking Dooferschmatz, Sweden.
Yeah,
You remember when they were doing that?
going to Duluth and shit.
When they were doing that shit, they take that card that we had this past weekend that we're all complaining about, and they sell it out in fucking Sweden. They 100%
Yeah,
fucking sell it. Shit, they sell it out in fucking Alabama if they want to. Now, is it gonna bring up the headlines that Dana loves to talk about after an event, like broke the gate record or broke the stadium record? Maybe not, but they're gonna fucking sell it out because Swedes or fucking people from Alabama are dying to have a UFC event go there, and they are gonna pay the fucking $200 $300 for the fucking nosebleeds.
I'll be honest though, bro. I think after the remodel on the Apex, the UFC really digs in. I think after summer 2025, there will only be 12 cards that are not at the Apex.
So I have my license to judge and ref, but politics and shit, and I just can't get any work based where I'm from. Fucking, I live in basically Mexico. No events come by here. You know who used to always come by here? Combate America used to always come by here, and that's why I'm always on Campbell's ass. Hey, bring the events back. Bring them back. We're here. There's a huge demographic. Bring them back. But you know what? His ass has found it to be profitable in a small ass company to sit there in that Miami studio with absolutely nobody in attendance and just have 6 fights a month or so, or yeah, 6 fights per event on a month. You know what I mean? It makes money. Yeah, the Apex is gonna be that for them.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we beat it to death. We've been at it for 3.5 hours. That's our whole space. And I don't mean to cut it off abruptly, but that's 3.5 hours. Anybody that's still listening, allinforbettertimes.com is Mike's website. It's a good site. He puts in a lot of insight. He's got a YouTube channel. He's worth giving a follow. Me, Usman, Dead Picks. We're all Cap MMA to the death of us. YouTube studio coming soon. That is sincere and honest. I don't know how the show's going to look, but I'm going to make sure that everybody that's part of this crew is well involved. Plus some guys like Ozzy I see out there want to find, we'll have a 2 or 3 hour format, and I really want to get the space involved, and I want to keep everybody involved. Pretty set on giving it a run over there. The space is revved up, man. We were hitting 400 to 600 listens on slow weeks. We were hitting 600 to 800 on good weeks, and a lot of people were seeing a lot of success on Spaces. Spaces as a whole have slowed down. Aussie and them do a great space on Saturday or on Friday nights. Friday nights MMA breakdown used to be at 800 listens by MMA card or UFC card time. It's 200-300 listens now with all your replays. So it's as much as they say they're pumping Spaces up, Spaces traffic is it is definitely not what it once was. I like everybody being able to pop in, getting on and off the mic. So I really want to try to figure out how to take it over to YouTube with us, so that we can do that and we can still get everybody talking and they don't have to have their video and all that shit set up. But Spaces seem to be taking a huge traffic hit, and it just is what it is. I don't know if it's because MMA spaces are dying. There used to be a dozen of us. Now there's 3 of us, But we gotta move and we gotta adapt. With that, tomorrow is the debut of the challenge on MTV, the Challenge 40. That is not what we do around here. But you can bet your ass I'm gonna get to the point one day where me and Usman at least got a fucking segment about it, because I love the fucking challenge. Season 40 debuts tomorrow. I'm going to leave everybody with a quote from challenge legend Chris Trombolio, and then I'm gonna end the space out. I say it with love. Know that. Here's to you and here's to me. Better friends will never be.